Now you're all in big, big trouble.
Welcome to the show, everybody. How are you all doing? So for those who don't know what the list is, you're going to find out. That was actually a little montage that I put together of some of the best little clips and videos that Siraj has put together. And welcome to the show. I guess I should welcome you. Hello, welcome. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Adam.
Keep it going. Is that it? That's what's the proper response to that? What,
you could just say, you could say
thank you.
Well, I mean, it's funny because there's so many ways to say to respond. You could say wa alaikum assalam, which is more difficult. You could just say wassalam.
Alaikum assalam. Okay.
Or my favorite one, which is wa alaikum hi.
Wa alaikum hi.
It just means, I mean, people just, someone says hi, and like because everybody says, someone responds with wa alaikum assalam, you just respond wa alaikum hi. So it's basically a little Arabic English right there together.
Okay, just kind of more for like the homies or the habibis, as you will.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've actually been a habibi before. I have a buddy in New York that called me habibi all the time, and it was just kind of, I got used to it because he was just that awesome dude that would just see me and be like, habibi.
Well, welcome back, Habibi. You're a Habibi again.
It feels good. I have great memories of being Habibi before. So here we go again. For those who don't know who Siraj is, he is an internet phenomenon with a cataloging. I'm sorry, is that wrong? All right, he is not an internet phenomenon.
No, it's just it's high praise.
I take it back. He is. It does an amazing job of cataloging the worst tweets of all time. And I have many examples that you have the worst tweets of 2021 so far. That it's actually an incredibly long list. We're not going to get to them all, of course. You have the top 10 worst tweets of the past decade, which is, we're actually going to go through that because that's like I think it's a top 10 list. If I
that's a top 10. That's so, like that is a trip through memory lane, because that is something where you go back and you remember exactly what happened, not almost where you were, but there's some of like the key moments of Twitter over the last decade where you're like, oh, so that's why Twitter is the way it is now. Yeah,
Twitter, I feel like I'm relatively new to Twitter, even though I started my account back in 2009. So I've had my account for a long time. So I'm one of the OG accounts, I guess, as it were, but I never used it. I had 300 followers at the beginning of 2020, and now I have over 100,000, which is, it's just,
are you serious?
It's insane to me over the growth that I've had. Right? It's pretty crazy. So I gotta say, someone super chatted me just now. Normally I read super chats at the end of the show, but we're not really in segments yet, and sometimes it's really juicy. So I gotta read this one real quick. Axios just warned me, and I feel like it's a fair warning. Siraj is a jobless lib, Adam. Don't let him off the hook. All right, good. I considered myself warned here.
Thank you, Axios. Thank you.
Well, I feel like you actually you admit you're a self-proclaimed lib. There's rumors going around that you're on the squad. There's a picture going around on the internet right now. And you're trying to deny it, but I don't know, man. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to bring it up for everyone. Let's let the chat decide whether or not you are who you say you are. All right, here it is. I gotta share my screen. Hold on. All right, this is a picture of the squad. All right, you recognize some of the faces. Here's the key squad right here in the middle. But this guy right here is awfully suspect. I mean, of course, your top comment right here, throwing them on the list. But of course, you're trying to, make people not think about the fact that there's you in the bottom right corner.
Oh yes, classic misdirection by me. Exactly.
Classic misdirection. I mean, you actually are correct. There is no masks there's one mask.
There's that one.
This guy over here, he's complying to all the stuff. So
these people are literally killing grandma.
You know what? I want to get another opinion on this. I'm going to bring in one of my experts on Siraj. All right, not many people know who this is. This is a special surprise. I've got Eliza here.
Oh my fucking god!
Siraj, you are a pathetic loser. I can't with you. I'm sick of you. What are you doing? What are you two doing?
Eliza, this is a great. I'm glad that you're here. I wanted an expert opinion on who this guy
Siraj
is.
Wrong. Whatever is going on, Siraj is always wrong.
Okay, so it turns out that he's been denying that this is him in this picture. Can you see this picture right here, Eliza?
That guy's obviously too good looking to be Siraj.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So you know what? We have our expert. We've got our expert. Eliza has now officially
I'm over here trying to be
let us
famous
know.
for a second. I'm in the studio, and
look at
still
that.
had time to pop in on you plebs.
Is that you are here?
Amazing.
Are you at the Blaze Studios right now?
Yeah.
That is awesome. That is congrats. I love that you're out there. That's so cool.
I have to flex on Siraj because he always think he's better than me. He thought he was gonna pop up and be friends with my friend. No. I got you,
all right,
Siraj.
Wow. All right.
Nice seeing you too, Eliza.
I had no idea that this was gonna happen. I had no way.
Hold on. I have a funny story to tell real quick. So
Please do.
Oh, great.
I'm chilling here at the Blaze, and someone who's semi high profile walked by and was like, "Oh, you're Eliza from Twitter. You and Siraj." Literally, this individual said, "You and Siraj." I was like,
"Oof." So who's the more famous one then, Eliza?
Well, it's obviously me. I just need
they
more
see
time
your
to
face
up.
and they think about Siraj, though. I mean,
they think
I'm calling it as I see it. This is what I'm hearing right here.
I just want to know how we got intrinsically linked. It's horrible, but you two have a good time. It's nice to see you both. I love you both so much. You're like my two favorite male friends. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a good show. And I can't wait to watch it when I'm done with my show.
Right on.
She's just gonna watch her segment. We all know that. And that's it.
And clip it out. Right. And
she's gonna be like, "I look fantastic." All right.
And she's just gonna post that segment on Twitter, and that's it. Like, it's not gonna show anything else.
her dunking on you. Exactly. That's all that matters.
Pretty much.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. All right, gentlemen. Have a great night.
Bye, Eliza.
I'll see you later.
Bye, see you soon.
Bye, BB.
Oh, that's funny.
Bye, baby.
All right. Sorry, I had to do that to you.
No, it's all good. It's
the timing.
Honestly, it would not be a show if Eliza didn't troll me.
Fantastic. And yeah, you guys have a fun dynamic too. You're always dunking on each other, and she's fantastic.
No, it's really one-sided. It's really her dunking on me, and
that's a good point. And you going, "Why is she dunking on me so much?" Whatever.
Oh, I understand. Why she.
Care to explain for the audience what's going on there? Why is she dunking on you so much?
Well, I mean, we're just good friends, but
there
we had her on. We had her on Habibi Power Hour in June or July, and
nice.
She was such a good guest. She somehow figured out a way to dunk on me so hard in the middle of the show that she became an instant hit with the Habibis, and then all of a sudden it just caught fire with the community. Everybody just started dogpiling on me, and she would like lead the charge.
That's awesome. You do have a pretty awesome community.
But I have to say this, like, there is a lot of material out there on of which to dunk on me with. Like, there's no shortage of material. I'm always like putting my foot in my mouth some way, shape, or form. Always doing something dumb,
sneaking into squad, squad meetings.
Exactly. Right? But I just have to point out here is that that has been like a common theme throughout my entire life. Like
people dunking on you.
Just absolutely get ripped by all my friends. Like, but like,
good.
I don't know how this happens. Like, I just magically somehow figured out a way to always get dunked on by my friends. So yeah,
just the magnet. Well, that's testament to your character, though, that you can take it, because it feels like the more people that dunk on you, or when you have friends that dunk on you, that's caring. I mean, I don't like to dunk on people unless they're my friends. And oh man, if you're my friend, oof, you're gonna get dunked on. I'm brutally honest, and I don't hold my punches to anyone. So,
well, Adam, here's the first, hopefully, of many dunks that we hopefully get on each other.
You mentioned your show, the Habibi Bros podcast. For those who want to check it out, I actually have the YouTube channel in the description below, so you can actually check out his podcast. He's got a podcast that he hosts himself.
And I also have to stipulate that we are on Rumble.
Oh, and they're on Rumble. I also have his Twitter page, which is how I first found out about him, and the amazing list and it's weekly, right? The list.
It's weekly now. It used to be daily, list. and then the pandemic happened, and then I was gonna kill myself because when everybody went into lockdown, only anything anyone could ever do was tweet, and so I had just endless streams of garbage takes I had to go through. And at the end of the day, I was like, I was working at the time at the Washington Examiner, so I'd have my full job during the day, and then at night I'd have to be focusing on the list, and I was just like, God. And again, like, I was doing it all by myself. Now I at least have a little bit of help. Plus, I also have the following of people who are like out there being watchdogs, sending
tagging you
shit all the time.
Tagging you in it. I've tagged you a few times in some things. It's cool too, the way that I've watched some of your Twitch streams where you'll do it live, where you're like perusing, and people will suggest, send you tweets, and you'll pull them up live and read it and be like, explain whether or not it's list worthy, and it's pretty cool. And do you still do that? Are you still on Twitch?
So we do every Monday night at 9 p.m. East on Twitch.
Okay,
but I also stream it on YouTube and Rumble for anybody who wants to check it out on any of those platforms. It's nice. On Twitch, you can actually vote on the take you think is worse, so it's a little bit more interactive than the other two platforms, but you can still watch and you can still comment.
Right on. That's cool. Well, you know what? I want to find out more about this list. What started it? Like, where did you get the idea to start doing this? You obviously have this all-time decade that goes back to 2011. I mean, and Twitter started in the late aughts, so you were pretty much doing this from the beginning.
No, I wasn't. You know when I started it?
No, when?
December 2019.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you go back and compile the list?
I had to go back and remember some of the worst takes that happened over the course of the previous decade.
Right.
And the ones that really stuck out in my mind were the ones that happened to just make that top 10 of the worst tweets of the decade. And also the ones that sort of led to even bigger issues. So like, if you want to highlight, I don't know if you have it queued up, but if you want to like highlight the worst tweet of the decade,
I have it right here. Let me pop it on screen.
Okay, and I don't know if I can actually show it.
So here's your all decade list.
The all decade list. I pulled
pulled
it out of the paywall. So, but the worst tweet of the decade was the dick pic that Anthony Weiner sent.
That was an actual tweet too.
That was an actual tweet. That was a photo of his bulge that he sent to one of his Twitter followers that prompted Wienergate, but also because of that led to not only him getting divorced, but also probably Hillary Clinton losing the presidential election in 2016.
Okay,
because if you remember, in the couple of weeks before the election day, James Comey opened up another investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails, because of the emails that were found on Anthony Weiner's laptop in relation to charges that he was, basically collecting, that really explicit pornographic material. And
so you're telling me
yeah,
this may be the most influential dick pic of all time.
absolutely.
This changed history, this dick pic.
Absolutely, 100%.
Or this wiener pic, I guess I should be.
This wiener pic, yeah. No, I fully believe that if you did not, if Anthony Weiner never sent out that tweet, he would never have to resign. He would never be charged for soliciting sex from a minor, which then caused the FBI to seize his laptop, and then the FBI discovering that there are a bunch of emails from his wife, Huma Abedin, shared with Hillary Clinton. So like it's yeah. That's incredible. I'm not saying we don't get a Trump presidency because of it, because we probably would have already gotten the Trump presidency regardless of whether that happened. I'm just saying that was like the nail in the coffin for Hillary.
Well, the whole lock her up thing was, came from the emails, her scrubbing the emails, bleaching it. They of course they fact checked. There was no bleach actually used in the emails. She used a server wiper. With some sort of similar name. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, who knows though? Like, would he have won the election? I don't know.
I still think he would have won the election without that investigation. I think Hillary Clinton really was that unlikable. Yeah. I just think that if it were going to be close, that really sealed the deal in it, making it so that Trump got more than 300 electoral votes. And because I mean the margin of victory in the 2020 election, wasn't it even smaller in some of these swing states than
it was Trump insanely small. Arizona was 10,000 votes. That's
it was like 18,000 in Pennsylvania
close.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Georgia was really close as well. There's all sorts of stuff that's coming out. Nonstop since the election it's not widespread. It just is fraud. So, and we're not
and that's the thing. It's like everybody it's like that's the fact check. It's like it wasn't widespread because it was only in these 6 states.
And it was only the specific states that needed to be swung, but who's paying attention to that? I don't know.
Right.
There is this crazy
I know we kind of got off on a tangent there, but I just want to point out
that's all right.
that was the worst tweet of the decade. But what really started the list was actually an interaction that George Conway had with Kellyanne Conway.
Ah, okay. So, is that on the list here? Can I pull that up somewhere?
I don't know if it actually is on that list.
No? Okay. But tell us about it, though. Tell us about it.
I will tell you about it. So basically, it was all in the middle of so this is December 2019, okay? The exact birthday of the list is December 2nd, 2019.
Oh, so right.
And basically what happened was Kellyanne Conway tweeted out a video of Joe Biden. Again, this is in the midst of the Democratic primary.
Right.
Joe Biden was clearly the front runner. And it was also in the middle of clearly the front runner. And what's his name? Donald Trump was being impeached. The impeachment inquiry was still going on. It was actually before the vote in the House. Now, what happened was that they posted a video, at least Kellyanne Conway posted a video, basically saying we need Russia or Ukraine's help to beat this guy. Obviously this guy being Joe Biden.
Right.
And George Conway quote tweeted Kellyanne saying, "Your boss apparently thought so." To which I thought, George, what the fuck are you doing? You don't.
What kind of a relationship do they have?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I don't care if you disagree. I don't care if you disagree on policy matters. Don't dunk on your wife in public.
That's weird. I
was like, I need to get that phone. George, give me that phone. You're done tweeting. And I just put out a 5-person list of people who needed their phones taken away. I had George Conway at number 1. I had Donald Trump at 2. I had, I think, Charlie Kirk at 3. I think I was 4, and I had my Washington Examiner colleague at the time, Seth Mandel, at 5 because I like to troll him. It's fun. That being said, it was there wasn't like I just acted like it was a thing that had just like consistently gone on, kind of like how like most sports power rankings go around. It's just like just it always exists. There's no beginning or end,
It's pretty incredible. Look at this, everyone. Like he's got, so this is pinned, and it's every single week for. It's amazing.
And I have quote tweeted it. I have quote tweeted the previous list since the beginning of the list. So
it's
you
all
can
here.
Literally go back. You can literally just keep clicking back to the very first list.
Amazing. So if you want to check out the list, you guys, you have to check out the list. It's amazing. You go as Shira. Okay, Sharia. Excuse me, Shah or Ria. Good for you.
I'm glad. You tripped yourself up there.
That's okay.
But I wanted to just give you sort of a little insight on the list because, like, it initially started off with
give me some insight.
So like it initially started off with people getting on it, and it was like a dumb take, 5-person list. It started being like a daily thing, and then one of my other colleagues, Jason Russell, told me, "Add them, you coward." I was like, "All right, I guess I'll start adding them."
Oh, you didn't add them at first? Didn't
add them at first.
Okay.
Then I expanded it from 5 to 10.
Okay.
And then people just really started like incorporating it, and then like I actually drew a lot of inspiration from one particular account that's actually a sports related account.
Okay.
Old Takes Exposed. Are you familiar with Freezing Cold Takes?
No.
Okay. It's a great Twitter account. He has to have somewhere around 500,000 followers.
Cool.
But basically every single freezing cold sports take, he just retweets, and like everybody just swarms on these old sports takes. And he posts them on Twitter. He also posts them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
The great thing he does on Instagram is that for some reason, some organic, all the replies is a to be fair. Like, to be fair, like, they may have not necessarily been talking about this, but like I've started partaking in this where it goes to the extreme. So give me an example. When it comes to say, for example, I'm gonna pull this up.
Okay.
Because
and you can share your screen too. Yeah, I'll pop it up.
Oh, but it's on Instagram. I can't. Oh, mate, it's gonna be too difficult to find. I can just at least
just post it in the private chat and I'll pop it up.
Okay.
Or you mean you're on Instagram on your phone, not your computer?
On my phone.
Oh, okay.
But basically, I think it's one of those things where
you could click share on Instagram.
Oh, here we go.
Send it to me on Twitter.
Let me give you an idea. So
okay, go ahead.
This is a photo of Mike White, who is a New York Jets quarterback. Okay. Can you see that? All right.
Yeah.
He played a couple good games. Okay. And then he played a real stinker. He threw like 4 interceptions in this last game.
Oof. Okay.
And there's a quote from Mike White that says, "If you ask me, I should have been a first overall pick in the draft."
Okay. And
my response was, to be fair, he could have meant first overall pick by the white delegation in the racial draft.
Okay.
The Dave Chappelle racial draft.
Mm-hmm.
And so like it goes to that extreme where like people are trying to find like these little, inroads here.
Yeah, that's great.
Anyways, I really like that account, and I bring that up because like what he initially did was when someone would post a sports take that had yet to come to fruition as being bad, he would put the writing hand emoji. He would he would quote tweet them with the writing hand emoji. And I was like, that's fucking brilliant. I'm gonna start doing that, but 3 writing hand emojis. But I'm gonna do it for people who have fucking terrible takes and just letting them know that they got on the list. And I
gotta say, if you wouldn't mind not swearing, I try not.
Oh,
to
I'm
swear
so
on
sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. I just
I wasn't sure if it just. I apologize. I'm so
no. That's totally 100% on me. You were just being yourself, and I want you to be yourself. So don't think you can't be yourself. I don't want you to not feel comfortable.
I should have asked if I could swear on this, and
all gravy. I just tried to keep it just in case there are kids listening, family friendly.
Sorry, kids.
That's all gravy. So that's cool.
So a rap album.
The adoption of and if you guys missed the very beginning of the show, that's where this all came about, which is this epic. Now this is a little montage that you put together. You did this yourself, actually.
Now you're all
right?
in big trouble.
That's pretty.
I put this together. This took me a week to put together.
So explain to me the whole blue check mark. Like, obviously, you got to have a blue check mark, and you are way more targetable, right? Is that if you don't have a blue check mark, it's got to be a really bad tweet, right? Is that
right?
Give us the rules.
So the list does come for all. That is the first rule. The list comes for all. I am always on it. So some people wonder, Siraj, why aren't you on the list? Well, about a month into the list, we're talking like end of December 2019, beginning of January 2020. I basically held a poll. I was like, am I taking a spot away from a more deserving candidate? Because I was literally on the list every single day for a full month. And I just like ranked myself accordingly based on the top 10.
All right.
Sometimes I was number 1. Sometimes I was like down at number 10.
But
people,
did you looking back, do you think you still deserve to be on the list with those tweets that you put yourself on the list for?
Well, the idea is that I am making a list of people who post bad tweets. And the idea of like, I need to have my phone taken away always because I am literally making a list of people making bad tweets. So the fact that I am spending this much time on a list that's so online, I need to have my phone taken away from me. So
sure,
the Habibis overwhelmingly voted in favor of me being like the first retiree. Like I had my jersey retired, hung up in the rafters, and that was basically it. So,
but I've seen you on the list. I've seen you on lists though. Even after that, though, I feel
that's true. That's when I have a particularly hot or spicy take.
Okay, all right. So you're not immune to being on said list,
right?
So that's good. That's good. So you at least
and usually, I'd say this has been going on for about a year. Ever since I started my Twitch stream, I started making it a little bit more interactive. So the list that you see now, there are 2 different versions. What you see publicly now on Twitter is what the Habibis voted on.
Okay, so this isn't just you picking now.
Yeah, so if you look at like I have a projection. I have the help of an intern, Ben Morrissey. Shout out to Ben.
Cool. Thank you, Ben.
And who's definitely fired. That's always fired.
Sorry, Ben. Sorry, Ben.
Ben. You're fired. And what happens on the list stream is that I give you the projection at first. I show you the top 10 tweets that I think are deserving of the list, and then I let the Habibis vote on what they think is the worst because everybody has sort of like a different take. So I listen to kind of all the input, read, chat comments, try to understand exactly what they're thinking. And then we just put it up to a vote, and people can use channel points. They could pay money to like spend more on votes. And so that kind of tips the scales depending on how much you watch the Twitch stream versus how much money you got. You can really tip the scale in that favor.
You also did a Twitter poll. I don't know how many times you've done that, but I remember I always enjoyed that. And I would go through and vote on who I thought was the worst tweet. And you kind of had a bracket system.
That is when we get to tournament time. That's when we get to tournament time.
Okay.
So like what you highlighted earlier in the show, you brought up the worst tweets of 2021 so far. So we had I know this
I have
sounds
it here.
pretty
Let me pop it back in. Here we go. So
I know this sounds pretty juvenile.
Go ahead.
This is a 69 tweet list tournament. Okay, so you have
nice.
It's very nice indeed. So you have this is all the worst tweets from January to June of this year. Okay, so we broke it down by 6 months each of the year. So by the time 6.9 months, so I think we had it fully dropped on June 9th, 6/9.
I like it. I like it.
So what ended up happening, this right here you're seeing right here is a projection, okay?
Okay.
It's a 69 tweet projection of the tweets we thought were the worst of the entire year, okay? Nice. So we had like a play-in round, we had a round of 64, round of 32, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, and then the championship. As you can see on your screen, LeBron James was voted as having the worst tweet of 2021 so far. And if you go back to the Substack article, you can actually see exactly what it was. If you go down to number 15, we projected him as having the 15th worst tweet of the year. But
I know
the BBs overwhelmingly voted. If you click on the fence, you can actually see what the tweet is.
It's still up. Oh, it's
not. Well, no, he deleted it because obviously
I remember this. This is a hero.
I posted.
For those who don't know, that saved a woman's life from being stabbed, potentially to death. And then, of course, LeBron James called him out for accountability, which is absolutely
posted his photo.
Insane. Dox the man on the internet with how many followers does King James have? I don't even know.
A ton. And you know, that's the interesting thing about
50
LeBron
million
is that,
people.
oh my God. That's the reason. But did you see the tweet that he went up against? If you go back to the Substack article, I'll show you.
Bring it back.
Tweet just to show you the championship round and how difficult it was for some people to vote. You go up to so is Adil Rogers. That's
Adil Raj.
Yes, that's the number. That's the second worst tweet of 2021. And that's in response to, and this guy was like a CNN freelancer.
Wait, what was he responding to here?
He was responding to it was a recent unrest of violence in the Middle East. I believe it was the in Israel, the Sheikh Jarrah neighborhood, sort of like the eviction from that neighborhood.
Okay.
So Adil Raja posts this tweet saying the world today needs a Hitler.
Jeez.
And like I called it out immediately, put him on the list. He blocked me, of course. But the reason why this lost to LeBron James is because he doesn't have nearly as big of a following as LeBron James.
He's got a big following, 81,000,
yeah.
But that's not 50 million people doxing a hero that saved someone's life, potentially saved someone's life. You know?
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. And for those who are wondering, I have down below. You have a link tree. That's on your Twitter feed, which you can just click down below, and it's all of his different. There's actually quite many different things. Different.
I actually get roasted the most for that
because you have so many different.
I have so many different things.
Different things. Let's just click on it and show everybody.
Oh God!
I want you guys to see. We're not joking around. This is like, all right. So he got his email, his text message, Habibi's on trial, highlights, Rumble, locals. Jay's 14th Twitter account, Habibi Power Hour, Habibi Bros on Patreon, YouTube. Actually, this is the first one that I'm like, this should be on the top of the list. This is your dog,
everybody
right?
thinks it should be at the top.
Well, I mean, see, people are
it's
smart.
The dog, yeah.
All right, the average person's stupid, but I feel like there's a good chunk of people out
Adam,
there.
I'll take you up on that, and I'll move Ernie up to the top.
Thank you. And, all right, let me just show everybody. This is the only thing on Twitter you should really be following, right?
True.
Because this is the future president of the United States. If we're headed the way that we're headed right now.
No, actually, the current president. He's the real president.
All right,
he's the real president.
He's the actual president of the United States, the 40 thick president of the United States. Pronoun he thick. I love it. He is actually really cute. Yeah,
he's a very good boy.
Yeah, that's cool. Is he running around out there somewhere behind you? Is that his bed?
He's a tennis.
Just
actually, that was originally supposed to be like a gaming chair, and then Ernie took it over.
He's like, this is mine now. This is my presidential napping spot. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, so what? Give me some more example. Like, what else should I choose and to show people? Like, give me some like of your all time. You got this list. So let me pop this list back up. So we got your worst tweets of 2021. Without looking at this list, what pops in your head that you're like, you got to see this one? This is like a terrible tweet.
Oh man, God, there's so many.
All right.
There's some takes that I think about where like if the list had existed back then, I would totally be on it. But
okay,
they don't. Like,
so
let's take for example, this is one of my favorites because this actually gets people to cringe quite a bit. And I can just grab it and share it with you because it actually happened quite recently, especially since the recent announcement from a certain Irish Hispanic by the name of Robert Francis O'Rourke. Okay. Announcing he's running for governor of Texas.
I don't know anything. Is that his? I know Beto, but yeah, I didn't know his. What's his full name?
His full name is Robert Francis O'Rourke. How do you get from Robert Francis to Beto? Sorry, I almost swore just then.
That's okay. I don't blame you. I don't know. It's easy to say. It's easy to sell. I mean, he almost won actually, right? From what I've known. Like I'm still. I feel like I'm a newbie in politics, even still after
Really,
a year.
How long have you been around the block?
A year and a half of being like nose to the grind, Stone, but it still feels like it's because of the history. You know, I don't have the history. I'm very familiar with what's happened in the past year and a half.
Okay.
But like going back, you know, the whole Anthony Weiner opening up basically the whole Clinton email things, like I wasn't political then, right? So I'm not fully knowledgeable about all of that stuff, but with the whole Steele dossier thing coming out, that the whistleblower or whatever, the guy that talked to the FBI now being indicted, like all the stuff, I'm like kind of like going back and filling in that knowledge that I was missing because I wasn't political then. So
yeah, I mean,
that's
actually,
why I
it's kind
feel
of
that
funny.
way still.
Well, it's funny because your evolution seems almost like the reverse of mine. So like I wasn't really political. I was more sort of just familiar with politics. But now, this is something where I like really wish I had a different trajectory, because I actually in college I graduated with a degree in biology. I wanted to go to medical school.
Okay.
And then I made the career change at like 25 in 2012. When I turned 25, I had basically that quarter life crisis. I was like, I don't want to go to medical school anymore. I don't like what I'm doing. I'm unhappy, and I just need to change it. There were people who are kind of like in my ear telling me like, you should really try something that, like, you know, you'd be really good at.
You should make lists online of stuff.
No, I mean, like, this is what people said, like, you have a great voice for radio. And I was like, all right, so broadcasting, I was like, broadcasting, that seems like an interesting field. I always like sports. Let's try it. Let's look into sports broadcasting. I originally started working at I was in DC. Now I'm in Florida. But for like a decade, I was in DC, and I started in 2013 at like a local startup focusing on high school sports, just building a reel. And then I used that reel to get to another startup. I focused on a little bit more like outside the lines types of sports stories and health and fitness. And then there basically came crossroads, or you know, I hit a fork in the road. Basically, I could either stay with the place I was working and switch to politics, or basically be out on the street and unemployed. So I was like, all right, let's try politics. Let's just do that. So this is like the 2014 midterms coming around. And I sort of like leveraged that. I basically started working with Sirius XM radio on the side. I can't tell you how long. I basically worked from 5 to 9 in the morning at Sirius XM, got in my car, then went to my 9 to 5 job. It got really bad early in the beginning because I actually fell asleep behind the wheel and crashed into a median outside the Pentagon, which you can imagine is pretty scary, considering how if I had maybe like 2 shades skin tone darker, probably would have been national news. Like local terrorist.
That was probably
crashes into the Pentagon.
That's probably the first time you got put on a list. Right?
I can tell you that's not the first time. It's not the first time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Can't be the first time. No, can't be the first time.
Well, we don't go into the details there, but
luckily, you know, all was fine. I just crashed into the median. Just popped the tire. I was fine. But I then about 2 years after that, in 2016, the Washington Examiner hired me, and then in 2021, I just
pundit though, as a political pundit.
Yeah, as a political guy. It's like and a conservative, because like, you know, it's funny. Axios says, "Oh, I'm a big lib." Like, yeah, I was a big lib. I was a huge lib, and you have a conservative publication hiring me.
Yeah,
it was a weird mess, but I mean,
are you still
made it work?
Are you still working for them?
No, so I left the Examiner in March and went.
Okay,
solo.
recent. So 2021.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now?
Yeah.
What's your
Habibi Bros? I do Habibi Bros and the list. That is it. That is what I do right now.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out ways to expand, but right now those are the main things.
Well, I'll tell you.
By the way, I sent you that tweet in the private chat. If you want to dial it,
I'm gonna pull it up in a second. I gotta say though, I am part of the Twitter community. You know, I feel I'm on Twitter a lot, and people know me. I'm way spicier on Twitter than I am on my YouTube show. All right, for those who just watch me here, I am rather tame as far as comparatively to Twitter. On Twitter, I post a lot more information about certain things I probably shouldn't be. I can't talk about on my show because I've actually gotten strikes for it. I talk a lot about election irregularities, I guess we should say. Yeah, I mean, even some stuff that's just come out recently where there's videos of people saying, like, we got to get rid of all this stuff. We can't talk about it because it's a felony if anyone finds out we're doing this. And it's kind of crazy, the stuff. And I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I don't want to get into that right now. But
I mean, Adam, are you on Rumble?
Yeah. No,
you are.
I'm on Odyssey. And I think I started a Rumble account. But Rumble and Locals are doing that. They acquired Locals, and now Locals is there's like a direct. I heard from Viva about how they're doing this integration between Locals and Rumble, which is really cool. And I really want to get into that a little bit more, and really would love to bring
Adam, look
my
no
audience
further. I got the hookup. I know the good folks at Rumble. We can get you set up.
All right. Well, let's talk about that because that's I am kind of sick of not.
And I can tell you, they will never demonetize you for telling it like it is.
That's true. Yeah, I might. I am thinking about doing more of an uncensored show somewhere else because as you know, I don't swear. I try to keep it family friendly. But I do swear when I go on other people's shows that they're swearing up a storm. I'm like, all right, no filter, cool. All right,
come join us on the Habibi Power Hour. Not only will you be able to swear, but you could probably also drink.
All right. Well, I mean, I have
been talking about eating a certain body part that Jay is really into.
Okay. I would definitely love to join you over there. But to finish my point about Twitter, you and your list have become kind of a staple as far as like the Twitter community. You know, I feel like it's become its own thing, and I'm happy for you. It's pretty cool to see that
I appreciate that.
You've got a thing going on that's part of, I don't know, new age culture. I don't know how I would describe it. You know, the Twitterverse. It's something that's pretty cool because people do need to be called out, and like Tubin, for example. We all know about Tubin. He was on a Zoom meeting and was tubing himself off, and it was very embarrassing. And now he's got this job back, and people tend to forget it. And it's like, dude, you're a gross man that you did this thing. And I feel like this list is helping people remember how terrible some people can be and how bad their takes can be. I mean, even LeBron James, like that guy, he gets away with everything, and it's insane how much of an idiot he is and how bad his takes are all of the time. And for some reason, people are like, yeah, what LeBron said. And it's like, what are you talking about?
So here's the thing about the list. And this is something that like I run into some people criticize me quite a bit. Well, I'm used to the criticism, but like some people think it's like I reference a certain other Pakistani by the name of Wajahat Ali, who seems to think that I have become some sort of right-wing troll.
Okay.
And I just want to address that real quick because
please do. Go ahead.
That is something where like I've talked at length about this whole thing with him. This big like falling out and blow up that's happened because I put him on the list for like a very bad generalizing tweet about sort of not just Republicans, but Americans at large.
Okay.
Because anytime something doesn't go, say, like his way, i.e., like a Democrat winning, like the governorship of Virginia, it's white supremacy's fault. Like,
oh yeah, I'm sick of that.
You can't like it. There's no other explanation for why a Republican won. It's white supremacy. Boom. Like basically. Clearly. His take was like whiteness was undefeated or whiteness is undefeated.
That's why they voted for the lieutenant.
Yeah, it's like I wonder. I think his exact tweet was like, I wonder who these white suburban voters in Virginia voted for. Any guesses? And I responded to him saying, well, Virginia just elected its first woman of color as lieutenant governor and first Hispanic
ever
as attorney general. But go off, King.
I actually remember seeing this tweet. Yeah. I remember you seeing that. And I was like, oh snaps, because it's true. What do you got
again,
now,
like,
dude? Go off.
And again, like
it was a battle between two white guys. Like, what?
Yeah, that. One who like never stops dancing, like the dad that he is. I mean, like, Terry McAuliffe literally dances at every single.
Hey, whatever. You know, the guy likes
He's
to
up
dance.
here like,
that's fine. Look, that's good. Someone clip that out because that's hilarious that he just did that. And you can probably clip it and add a head on top of something crazy because it was right at the neckline too, and you were dancing, so it's kind of hilarious. Someone please clip that.
Yeah, you actually could do that. Yeah,
do something funny with that.
But basically, everything that happened from that is like just the entire meltdown. You know, he doxed my wife, and again,
wow. After that, in response,
he literally threatened to dox my wife after that, and then I put his tweet on the list the next morning, and that's when he threatened again to dox my wife, and I reminded him that I was one of the many people who tried to help him and his family in his time of need by literally applying to donate my liver to his child.
Wow.
Who was going through stage 4 liver cancer.
That is really sad.
As soon as I mentioned that, he blew up and doxed my wife completely. Now people think, people think that my wife wasn't doxed. They think it
or some might question that you even have a wife.
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, she already left me, so that doesn't really matter at this point. But what I just want to point out is the reason why he intended to harm me and my wife. Yeah, and the reason I don't stand for that. Again, this guy was a family friend. Okay, he was very close to my brother. I have broken bread with this dude, and he just completely lost it over a political disagreement. The reason I bring this up is because my wife was working specifically on these election irregularity challenges, these legal challenges, and working with a specific team of lawyers who have had a target on their back, i.e. the Kraken team.
Yeah.
So he did that. He tried to connect the two of us. I mean, we are connected. We're married.
Right.
But he specifically tried to do that to try to harm me and my reputation, to try to make it look like I'm crazy, which I'm obviously not.
Well,
I mean, I am crazy, but not for that reason.
We're all crazy, but you're not insane. You know what I mean? Like that's
right. No, I mean, like, I'm not a
story
kook.
is insane. This guy. I mean, this feels like a lot of people though. It's so much. This is very prevalent though. What you just described. It's these kind of people feel justified in their actions because to them the ends justify the means. Yeah. Right. They don't care how they get to wherever they're going. You know, and they'll crawl over bodies to make it like your family, like that dude. Yeah. Any history that you guys had, it was thrown out the door. Because the narrative, you were going against the narrative and you were going against his worldview, and that triggers this defense mechanism that all these people have, that they need to fight back. And it's just, there's no logic. It's all 100% emotion. You know, it's really sad. And we're seeing that all the time.
It is really sad. But like, I just have to point out here, and this is kind of what, like, I have to provide that context, because one of the points that Waj made in all of that, and that blow up, was that I am a right-wing troll. That I only put like liberals and lefties on.
Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from the list.
I have to point out here that is patently false, because obviously I'm not right-wing. I've always thought of myself as a moderate.
Okay.
Some people would say I'm like a classical liberal. But here's the thing. This is where the list really sort of feeds off of the energy on Twitter. The Twitter community is largely about projection. You know, people projecting their views, virtue signaling.
Yeah.
Anything that they have issues with, it's slacktivism in a nutshell.
Yep.
What we see on Twitter from largely people on the left are people projecting sort of all of their moral superiorities over everyone on the right. So every time someone tweets something crazy, it's usually someone from the left. Well, people on both sides tweet stuff crazy, but people on the right just don't care. They use the term based. They are truly based for a reason, because they do not care what other people think of them. They don't even give the illusion that they are morally superior to other people if they are tweeting out something crazy. People on the left always give off the impression that they are morally superior to everyone else. So therefore, when they break that sort of that fabric, that they pull that wool over your eyes and they show you who they really are, and obviously you should believe them. That's why they get on the list so much, is because there's so many more of them who just like finally break from that moral superiority illusion and tell us who they really are. And so that's why they get the list more often.
That's a good breakdown of so much more than Twitter, because I feel like that rings true a lot. Because if you don't care what other people think about you, you're not seeking validation in others, because you don't care. Well, you don't need validation in others. It doesn't matter if someone uses your correct pronouns or I mean, insert any of the examples, because I mean, the people that don't care, they work on one thing: themselves. They are the only ones who care about themselves, and that tends to be more of a right thing on the right side. Although I feel like I'm like you.
It's the individual over the collective.
The hive.
It's that individualistic versus collectivist approach.
Right. I'm all for self accountability, and there's so many people out there that don't want to be accountable for their actions. And not only, it's not even them, because this whole movement has basically taught them that it isn't their fault and that they can blame other things. And, oh, it's not this. Well, here's this long list of anything. Go pick and choose something to blame. But nowhere on that list is them. It's their own fault for their own things. Yeah. And it's, then they have these emotional outbursts. Like, sadly, that story of your old friend that, you broke bread with, he couldn't see that it was his fault. It was your fault. You're the person who was wrong in this situation, that he had to lash back out at you. He couldn't see that maybe his take was list worthy, because I have to obviously, because again, focusing on that whole self-accountability thing, I hold myself accountable for the things that I've said and I've done. And I go back and I replay, what happened in my head. And I think to myself, did I have to bring up his daughter? Did I really have to do it? And I think to myself, at least publicly, because it was public.
I mean, I did take it private, but but he never really stopped tweeting about it, so that's why I continued to put him on blast when I had to the day later. But in any event, I thought about it. I was like, this guy was threatening to dox my wife even before I even mentioned his daughter.
Yeah.
If I had put him on the list, like in the top 10 the next week, there's a pretty good chance that he would have just gone ahead and done it, and I wouldn't even have mentioned his daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking to myself, how would that have played out? Would it have been even better or worse? And honestly, I think that at one point or another, whether he had doxed my wife either before or after, I would have probably had to bring up his daughter one way or another, and just remind him, hey, I'm not like trying to brag. I'm not like trying to, broadcast what I did for you and your family, but like, remember how close we are in real life?
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this?
That's like family status, though, where you're to the point of like, I'll give you, one of my own kidneys.
But like, honestly, I mean, I don't think of it as family, because look, I don't really know the guy as well as say my brother does.
Okay.
But at the same time, I mean, like, this was his baby girl that was going through this. Like,
yeah, of course.
I would do it. I would do this for anyone. I mean, it's whether I knew them or not. And if someone reached out to me and asking me for help, like, I may not be able to give them my lever straight up, but like, if I will help them in every way I can. I mean, it's just one of those things where like, you don't even think about it. You just do it.
Yeah. Well, that's testament to your character.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that all happened the way it did.
No, it's fine. If anything, what it taught me is you learn who your true friends are. And in that case, I got a lot of love and support from the people who are truly my friends, and I can't thank them enough for having my back through all of this. So, and honestly, things got even better because my wife got on Twitter and started trolling Mudge as a result.
Nice. Good. As you deserve. So I always like to figure out, a way forward, right? Like, how do we, we could talk about the past, right? You're reliving this over and over again. Would it have gone differently or better in some way if I did it this way? But it doesn't matter, right? Because it happened the way it did, and here we are in the now. So these people that are like that, these emotionally charged people that get into this fight or flight in these situations, how do we move forward, right? It's not a simple question to say, how do you fix society, right? But I'm kind of trying to ask that in a sense of how do we get to these people in like, how do we reach them and help them see logic, or you know what I mean, that you're not trying to attack him. You weren't. It was just it's like, what do we do, and can we do anything?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some people who are just never going to be moved by anything.
Yeah.
But I will say, and this is something that I have thought about for quite some time, because I guess for your audience who's not aware, I am Muslim. I still practice. I might not be the best Muslim.
Okay.
If you as evidenced by my incessant cursing at the beginning of the stream, as well as
is that not allowed? I don't even know.
No, I mean, it's not
frowned upon.
What is really allowed nowadays, right? I mean, of all the things that I've done, is swearing really the worst thing?
Yeah.
But of course, the drinking and the drugs, that's probably a little bit more haram than other things. But
I just have to highlight. I mean, is that all right then?
Of course not. Of course they're not halal. Of course not.
Just kidding.
But I do it anyways.
That's funny. And you try converting people on your show, don't you? I've seen. Now, is that serious, or are you?
No, it's not serious. I mean, there's some people who are legitimately. There's some people who are legitimately they get it. They get into the vibe, and it turns into a thing. We started doing it for a few of our guests.
Pretty funny.
But it was funny because we had Ben Shapiro on the show at the beginning of September, and I talked to Jazz should we try to do it? Should we try to confront him? I was like, no, it's gonna be too risky. If he converts to Islam, that would. If he even just fake converts to Islam, that would completely cause the fourth intifada or something like that.
Or even just asking him, I feel might trigger something.
Yeah,
oh, that's pretty funny, though.
In any event, this is the thing that I really thought about since 9/11 was basically almost every day since 9/11. Mm-hmm. And this doesn't happen very often anymore, but in the immediate decade following 9/11, at least until I'd say so until Trump was sworn into office.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a period of 15 years right there. It was almost always directly caused. There was that direct correlation between Islam and terrorism, and you couldn't shake that association. So anytime
that sucks.
People would say anytime there's an act of violence, an act of terrorism, you almost knew a Muslim was behind it. And it became a bit infuriating at times because of, obviously, for one, I'd have to be out there on the front lines trying to condemn it and dissociate myself from them, or disavow. And it became frustrating. But then I realized that a lot of the rhetoric that seems to be thrown around about Muslims being terrorists, I saw it came from the right. So when things started kind of organically happening as they did, I just sort of took it upon myself to just start trolling everyone and making it seem like I had already now been at the Examiner by the time I started doing this. So I had already been working for a conservative publication, and people started thinking, oh, Siraj, you must be a conservative now. Well, I wasn't really exactly a conservative, but I was writing for a conservative publication.
Well, you probably saw a lot more of that stuff too. If you're saying it was coming from that area, you were involved
actually,
with a lot
it's
of
just
those other people.
I've never actually shared this information with anyone before, but in the interview I had, this guy doesn't work there anymore. I'm not going to divulge his name because he'll probably get canceled as a result.
Okay.
But when I first sat down for an interview with one particular person at the Examiner, the first question they asked was like, "So are you Al Qaeda or ISIS?"
Oh my God! What? That's messed up.
You want to hear the best part about this? This is how I responded. I said, "I'm more of a lone wolf."
Dang.
I legit said that.
Well, and just to add to this whole context to everything, it's like they were extremists, and I think that's what people don't really understand. Like,
yeah, they were extremists, but like I think it's sort of like it sort of poisoned the rest of the well that like all Muslims sort of like condone this behavior.
Yeah,
and that even like passive Muslims, like nonviolent Muslims, would be sympathetic at the very least to these terrorists, and that's obviously not the case. But I think one of the things that sort of really became sort of like the breaking point for me was the idea that Muslims were constantly trying to overtake America and implement Sharia law. I think Frank Gaffney was the person who coined the term creeping Sharia. And
I've never even heard that term before.
Yeah, so that came around, I'd say, in like the early 2010s. It was like maybe around 2013, 2014. And I think I saw it at its height. So I just took that and ran with it. And I just basically acted like everything that was happening.
Oh, that's your pronouns.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I've never even heard that term before. So like I don't even know what that means. So
Sharia is Islamic law. It's like halakha in Judaism or canon law in Catholicism.
Okay.
So it's just like a religious law that is used as the form of government or governance in Islamic countries.
Okay.
Some people look at it as very sort of brutal and barbaric because there are parts of it that are very brutal and barbaric, but there's some parts that are like like kind of just there, like it's like like
okay.
But
I mean,
again,
is
it's
stuff
like
taken literally, that barbaric stuff? I don't know much about,
but that's here's the thing. There's no like the Sharia law is basically written by man, but like supposedly it's supposed to be like influenced by the Quran, but like there's nothing really in there that like every single country adopts. So like I actually after
kind of vibe.
Yeah, some countries just pick and choose what they think that works best. So like you'll see more progressive Muslim countries that women aren't required to wear hijab, and then you'll see more restrictive ones like Saudi Arabia or even Afghanistan, where like women can't even show their ankles. So it's again, a lot of this is done for power, and in many ways, I'd have to say, I wouldn't say that we have Sharia law here in America, but that sort of desire to sort of impose for government to impose or control every aspect of your life, that is there. That is definitely here.
I definitely see those similarities there.
As soon as they get it, they never want to give it up.
I definitely see that. My goodness.
Yeah.
All right. So I pulled up this tweet, going back to, I said, what is one of the worst things? And you sent me this. So what's this all about? I'm going to read it. Let's see. Ojeda and Avenatti as candidates are like the guy who thinks good sex is pumping away while you're making a grocery list in your head, wondering when he'll be done. O'Rourke is like the guy who is all sweet and nerdy, but holds you down and makes you come until your calves cramp. My goodness. Okay, Leah. Jeez. She's she wants that probably. Right? I mean, that's my takeaway from this.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's just one of those things where like again, this was tweeted in 2018 after
the first paragraph sounds like her marriage. And then the second paragraph is what she wishes her marriage was. That's my takeaway. I don't even know who this woman is. So
you know, like this is one of those like bigger unverified Twitter accounts that I put on blast every now. They blocked me, obviously.
I
didn't even get a chance to put them on the list for this particular tweet. Yeah, I get blocked by a lot of people.
Not that it stops anything. You could just open a private window and see the tweet.
Well, obviously, that's why do you think Ernie has a Twitter account?
Yeah. Oh, no one knows about Ernie. They don't know. They don't know about little old powerful presidential Ernie.
Exactly. But I was just gonna say is that like that is please. Like one of the top tier tweets that if the list had existed then definitely would have made number one. Probably worst. Maybe I don't know if it'd be a worst tweet of the year. But anytime an account gets suspended, then basically the list works.
How many accounts have you have gotten suspended directly because of the list? What would you say?
What's your guess? Well, here's the thing. I do not actually report any tweets.
That's not what I'm asking.
Okay.
It's not what I'm asking. How many accounts
how many scalps
have been suspended? Yes. Yeah, how many? That's what we'll do it. How many scalps does the list have?
Oh, I'd say close to 24.
Wow. Seriously. I was not expecting that high of a number.
Well, but that's only because of like and it's for something complete, you know, stuff that's completely arbitrary, like stuff that I'll put something on the list and then like months later that person will get suspended.
Okay. So not necessarily like, because of that, because
right. So like the last person to get suspended because after they got on the list was Emerald Robinson from Newsmax because she tweeted about the vaccine saying it had luciferase in it. And
we're not claiming anything medical here.
Yes,
she said that and got deleted for it. I'm not making any claim. YouTube, I don't know. I've never even heard that. I seriously, I read from a government website about some things, and I got a strike for it, so I can't take the risk. But
okay.
She said please continue though. Yeah,
she said the vaccine had these things in it that
that
Twitter fact checked. And then the tweet got removed from Twitter, and then she got suspended by Newsmax, and then she got suspended by Twitter. I put her on the list for that because ultimately the list is about saving people from themselves. You know, if you're tweeting out stuff that hurts you in real life, that is cause for someone to take your phone away from you. Because
that's a good point.
That's ultimately why the list began, is because
your phone should be taken away.
It's not that the tweet itself is the worst thing. It's that it's also causing real life repercussions for you. And if Twitter is that bad for you, if Twitter is causing that much negativity in your life, you need to have your phone taken away from you.
Take a step back.
Yeah.
Well, for those who have never seen the list, you are now enlightened, as it were, about the list, and you should definitely go check it out. In the description below, you can find all of his links, his link tree with all of the multitudes of different locations you can follow him on. But of course, Twitter is where the list comes from. It's all of the worst tweets. I really do want to talk about this whole MSNBC bust today, and hear your thoughts on the Kyle Rittenhouse trial in general, because I feel like everyone's kind of has their viewpoint on it. They're still deliberating, and it's kind of crazy. It's 2 days. It feels like they're being harassed, and this whole MSNBC thing. Well, I'll just let everyone know. Basically, the MSNBC has been connected. Has it been proven yet? I don't know if it's necessarily been proven that the woman that worked for MSNBC hired somebody to follow the juror bus after they were being taken from the courthouse, which is absolutely insane. Cops pulled someone over, and this person said that he was told to follow the bus by someone who worked at MSNBC. And then the judge came out and said, okay, MSNBC isn't even allowed in the courtroom anymore. So they got to that point where the judge actually banned MSNBC from the courtroom. So this is crazy. Thoughts? Like, where's your head at on this whole thing?
Well, there are a couple of things. For one, again, I would not jump on the on the MSNBC definitely did it.
Right. I don't know yet for a fact yet. This is what he claimed.
Yeah. But I think if the concern was there, a high-profile trial like this, you can't take those risks. You cannot take those risks.
Agreed.
If there is any hint or concern that there is potential juror intimidation, you gotta shut it down. You gotta nip it at the bud. And Bruce Schroeder, who again, by the way, is a Democrat. At least when he first started on the bench, I don't know if he is anymore, but everyone thinks he's a Trump supporter for some reason because of how his
ringtone. It's his ringtone.
Because it's his ringtone.
He loves America, so
he loves America. Democrats can't love America too. God, no, that's how poison the wells become. Anyways, like this is where I get a bit frustrated because as soon as you see this particular story, the characterization surrounding it is what really starts to make you think that this is baked in, like they're trying to rig the game. Let me highlight one particular instance for you. That is coming from a number of different news outlets. For one, Variety. I think they were one of the earlier offenders. They tweeted out, I'm pulling it up right here. Kyle Rittenhouse judge bans MSNBC from courthouse after freelancer gets traffic citations.
That feels like they're leaving a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah, I mean that's
because that guy named MSNBC. Not to say that it's been proven, but the fact that he named him, that's pretty big news. Like he's claiming MSNBC did it, and they're not reporting that side of it. Why? At this
point, you can't even say that it is, you can't even say that they are being unintentionally or unwittingly misleading. They are being deliberately misleading and lying to you and gaslighting you into believing something is happening when it's really not.
Yep.
And that's where I get really frustrated with corporate media. And that's one of the reasons why I left it. But it's come to the point where you start to think maybe MSNBC actually did it because maybe they actually were trailing this bus full of jurors because of the way corporate media is responding to it and handling it. Because if you had corporate media rally around the judge and be like, this is completely unacceptable for any journalist to do this. Like if a Fox News journalist was banned, if Fox News was banned from the courtroom for following jurors, you can, all right, it would be number one. You bet your bottom dollar that everyone in the corporate media in unison would be condemning that journalist for that particular conduct. Oh,
even if it wasn't proven, if it was the same situation where someone just said, "Oh, someone on Fox told me to follow him and maybe take some pictures of them," or like whatever it was, would be that in itself would just be number one news. We've got him, everybody. We got him. And,
but also there was also I think I saw some journalists saying on Twitter that like this is long-standing practice. This is journalists do this all the time. They take photographs of the jurors' license plates so that they can contact them after the verdict. Whoa, that's messed up. Are you like basically threatening to dox them whether they don't? Think of the amount of if you can get their license plate information after following them, think of what all the other information that they can get. Just based on that. And just because, you're going to tell me that that's a long-standing practice that doesn't actually threaten our judicial system?
You're admitting to doing something illegal, and even if you think that you're coming from a positive, virtuous place, whatever they will justify it in their heads, that doesn't mean that there's someone that is out there that wants to do something negative to these people that will take that information from you or also be doing the same thing and getting that information. It's like, these jurors need to be protected. They need to know that no one will ever know who they are, period, and not be intimidated. I mean, I was hearing rumors that they might have been able to hear the megaphones from outside of the Black Lives Matter people chanting Black Lives Matter, which how that relates to this case at all, I don't understand. They seem to be equating it because the media told them that he's a white supremacist.
Rittenhouse obviously killed 3 black people, right?
Well, that's what people think.
Yeah.
There are actual people out there that are pissed and think that Kyle Rittenhouse killed a bunch of black people, which is irrelevant, because if the same situation happened in the exact same scenarios of how it went down, where Kyle, as far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen, and I've been watching every single day, he defended himself. If there was a different skin color, it would have made absolutely no difference, and it shouldn't, because we are all human beings, and they're trying to make it. They're trying to pick and choose. I know I'm getting heat on the internet right now because I posted about something that the University of Austin is teaching 4-year-old kids. And I don't really want to get into this race conversation, but I just want to because I think I'm going to talk about this more in depth tomorrow. But right in the beginning, this is it right here. It's this: talking about race and racism with young children. And it's a guide. The key terms it tells about race and how it's a construct, a socially constructed thing that's made up that we have to get rid of. But then it continues to talk about how we all need to be segregated, and talk about how we're all you need to judge based on skin color. And it's it's projection, it's segregation, it's teaching racism to these 4-year-olds. These 4-year-olds need to be taught that we're all the same. So it's really frustrating, and I'm getting bombarded by all these people that are like, well, what's so bad about this? I don't understand. Well, you don't understand because you're being taught that we need to teach critical race theory, and that's teaching kids about coming together, and really it's about segregating us. And it's insane how these people are just so triggered and run with it. Oh man, it's really frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating. And again, I speak from a position of sort of coming, I've always sort of had a foot in two different worlds, being biracial, being, I have a white mother and a Pakistani father. And so I've never always, everywhere I've been, whether I'm in the US or I'm in Pakistan, I've never been seen as part of the community. If you know what I mean. It's yes, right. I have this lineage, but there's still a part of me that's very foreign to them. So
are you American?
I am. I was born in Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're American, and you're part of my crew. All right.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing is, I actually, I love America. I've always loved America.
America's
awesome. In fact, I probably was bullied in Pakistan when I lived there growing up because I loved America so much. I was so proud to be from there. But it was one of those things where, when you think about it in retrospect, people want you to be just one thing or another. They don't want you to be people want to put you into a box.
Come over to my side. Come over to my side. Oh,
they
are
don't
you
know
on
how
that side?
Yeah. They don't know how to engage you if you're not within if you're just American, Pakistani. But it's also traversed over to the political dialogue in which Adam, I don't know what your politics are, but I don't care. But most people, if you're being critical of, say, Joe Biden, people will just be like, "You're a Trump supporter.
What a Trumper!" I'm like,
yeah,
what?
I
hear Biden people that voted for Biden that are like, I cannot stand what he's doing to this country, and I'm like, thank you. Neither can I. And whether or not I voted for Trump doesn't matter, because Biden is sitting in the chair right now. He's sitting in the Oval Office, and I'm going to critique him because he's the sitting president. Period. Yeah. I'm going to critique him. I don't like what he's doing, and I have every right to not. People are so blind to their I don't know, their side, right? And if you disagree with them on one thing too, right? It's not just you can't have any disagreements, because if you disagree over here, they instantly put you on that bracket over on the other side. Well, which right now the boogeyman is Trump, the mags. MAGA.
It's actually kind of fascinating, though. I will say this, just because the originally, again, I go back to this post 9/11 world in which every Muslim was on, the terrorist watch list, basically. And now it's like Democrats are leading the witch hunt against every single conservative and putting them on terrorist watch lists.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just like, who's going to start putting Democrats on the terrorist watch list next? Like, is it going to be the libertarians? Probably.
True. Or the progressives, because they feel like they want to eat everyone up.
Yeah,
but you should know, right? Because you were on that board meeting. Let me bring this picture back up.
You mean Squad's giving? Squad giving?
Squad's giving. You should know, right? I mean, look, just in case you missed it before, although we have been confirmed because this guy is too attractive to be Siraj. So this was Elijah. I had an expert come in. Elijah joined us earlier on in the episode to tell me that it is not, in fact, him. So he is not on the squad, which is good. It's a relief because the squad.
But if I was on the squad, I would just be dunking on them incessantly. They probably kick me out the first day.
You wouldn't last on the squad. You'd walk in the door and be like, "Y'all on the list." They'd be like, "You're out."
Actually, what's interesting? I put Ilhan Omar on the list back in like April 2020.
Yeah,
and she responded.
Really?
And it caused a huge moment. Let me see if I can find this for you because it actually happened fairly recently. Dang. I think someone responded. She basically responded in the sense that I put her on the list and she responded with the writing hand emojis. It was the weirdest thing that probably ever happened to me.
So she kind of like owned it a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you put me on the list?
It became a moment on Twitter. In fact, I'll find the link right now and send it to you because there's actually a screenshot of her responding to me, saying like, "Not a chance, son." Where is it? Oh, it was just here. It was just here. Someone had it. Oh my god.
Anyone got that? Anyone got that? Anyone have that? That's surprising though, because maybe they know because you kind of have like tapped into something where you have a good range, like an aid range of people that appreciate the list, right? So if someone's name appears on the list, it's almost like free advertising in a sense, right?
Yeah,
I know you're dunking on them, but it's still, you got her name out there more.
Right, yeah, like there's some people who have told me they're like, I don't mind getting on the list. I could, you get more. I get my stuff amplified. Like,
yeah, right.
There's some people who obviously have very thin skin and can't take it. I've had people have meltdowns, just like Watch. I've had people basically say I was like harassing their children
by putting them on the list.
By putting them on the list, yeah.
Like, hey, you sent that tweet, man. You sent the tweet. So technically,
and then
by your logic, that was you.
Yeah, it's weird, man. There are a lot of people who just like they're not entirely with it, and so when they get on the list, they do not have healthy responses.
So let me bring it back to the Rittenhouse trial. I just want to ask you, what do you think is going to be the outcome? What do you think?
I think the way things have been heading and the way that the trial has transpired, I think it'll either result in two different ways. Either actually maybe three. I think given the deliberations now, I honestly didn't think that this was a possibility, but I should probably have already considered it a possibility given where we are on jury deliberations. One, I think you could get a hung jury.
Hung jury, yep.
In which case that would lead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, for those who don't know, a hung jury would basically mean they'd have to start the whole trial over again, which would suck for Kyle.
But that would then lead, I think, I then think that would lead to a mistrial with prejudice, and meaning that the charges would be dropped completely.
I think that should happen, but
I think we're heading in that direction, honestly. Because
they would have to do a hung jury, and then they would declare it a mistrial with prejudice. Yes. Right? Because how are they going to find? How are they going to find an unbiased jury now?
You can't find any jurors now.
You wouldn't be able to.
It's too high profile. It's already been televised. People are talking about it. It's everywhere. You're never going to find. If you're going to find, look, Kenosha is not a big city.
No.
you're not going to find,
it's practically a suburb of Chicago.
Exactly. You're not going to find 12 jurors who have no idea what's going on.
Right.
Like, unless they were born, unless they're literally children.
Right.
You're not going to find anybody
that lived under rocks for the past 2 years.
Exactly. So like, right. And this is so high profile. You're not going to find, it's just like, it's,
yeah.
So but I do not think we're going to get a guilty verdict here.
I don't think so either.
But I obviously think it's going to be even less likely that there's going to be a non-guilty verdict, simply because the pressure that's on the jury right now, what you have with MSNBC, allegedly chasing after this jury bus.
Crazy.
I mean, the fact that you have this situation shows you sort of just how broken our criminal justice system is already. That's and true. The fact that we have social media, and I was talking about this, I think, last night on BB Power Hour. The fact that we have social media in this day and age that sort of helps speed up the process of these trials has a major drawback, and that is you find next to nobody who doesn't know anything about that particular case.
That's true.
And that's really difficult in trying to find an impartial jury or any impartial jurors who really could rule based on the facts or decide based on the facts that what happened was what happened versus, when you get to a guilty or not guilty verdict.
Even going into picking juries, like, because it was such a big moment last year in Kenosha, and it was already televised for a year. The sitting president called the former president out for not condemning white supremacy, which of course he did, but he had that video where it included Kyle Rittenhouse standing there with his AR, and it's like Joe Biden essentially called Rittenhouse a white supremacist, and this was last year. So that is basically a signal to everyone who are like the vote blue no matter who, believe what they say no matter what. I don't have to, if they say it, I can believe it 100%. They fully believe that Kyle is some sort of white supremacist, even though he's an upstanding citizen that has there's many examples of him going out of his way to help the community and use his time to serve others, which is what we want people to be doing, And
can I say something, Adam?
Of course, yeah.
And this is one of those areas of self-accountability. I was wrong about Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay,
were you?
I didn't fully buy into the media narrative. I did think that I did not buy into the idea of lionizing him, though. That is something that I originally thought was something that shouldn't have been done for someone like him.
Okay.
But now I realized
lionizing.
So I saw a lot of people praising him as a hero, as he had just done, as an upstanding citizen. Maybe not a hero, but
not
at
saying
least
not
praising
saying
him.
And I'm not putting him on a pedestal either.
Right.
I'm just
right. You're not, but like at least praising him in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
I may have bought into the narrative that like, oh, he had no reason to be there. He had no right to be there. But then I thought about it more often, and I was like, you know what? If he didn't have the right to be there, what gives these members of Antifa? What gives these rioters the right to be there?
Correct.
They have just as much a right to be there. Rittenhouse has just as much a right to be there as these rioters. In fact,
correct.
He has
more
so of a right to be there because he's there trying to defend property.
Well, they'll argue that they were protesters, that they weren't actually rioting, but which is absolutely wrong because they were burning Kenosha down. For a shooting that was absolutely justified in the long run. It's like.
Yeah, and if you actually look at the facts of the case, Kyle Rittenhouse acted at the very last possible moment that he could have acted to defend himself. It's not like he walked into danger, basically shot up the sky, and basically said, "Who wants some?"
So that's what they were trying to portray it.
But that's what they try to paint him as, and a lot of people bought into it, including me. I thought that's something basically that he walked into. So, yes, I got it wrong. And I'm happy to admit that I got it wrong. And honestly,
that's great of you.
I'm happier to admit that than I'm happier to say that than I am saying, "Oh, I was right," because I'd much rather it be the case that someone in Kyle Rittenhouse's position go to the last possible option of using his firearm rather than that being the first go-to for him.
I want to talk about that something specific here. We were talking about. I don't like to put anyone on a pedestal, right? I feel like we all should be even, and treat everyone equally, right? Like true equality is nearly impossible.
Oh wait, you didn't say equity? You're racist.
Yeah, sure. But if we still need examples of someone who is doing good for their community. So there still needs to be some sort of a, hey, you know what? He is doing something good for the community. He was a firefighter. He was trying to be an EMT. He does have all these really good things that, when people go into the service, for example, military service, regardless of how you feel about the military, they're still choosing to serve the community, right? Firefighters are serving their community. They don't have to. Oftentimes it's they're giving their time. It's not even their main jobs, and they're spending that extra stuff to just be a part of community and help build their environment. We should at least, I don't want to say glorify it, but celebrate it in some sense, right? I don't want to lionize anyone, but we still should be like, that's good. Like we should recognize it on some level, right? Because it feels like we're focused too much on those rioters were burning down this. Here's this list that I do every week of the worst people on Twitter, right? Which I'm not trying to knock you right here. It's just a perfect
example. It's okay. Drag me, King. Drag me.
Get dunked. Perfect example. Awesome. I'm glad that came up naturally too. But is there a list out there of like, these are the best tweets out there? We've got the, men posting their W's, women posting W's, and all those kind of, or good news network or something, there's that kind of stuff. But, there's such a focus on the negative side of life. And
there really is.
I feel like, you know what? I don't mind praising Kyle Rittenhouse a little bit, because he really, you said it, he really did wait until the last second, because they try to say Rosenbaum wasn't even within arm's reach of him. And it's like every single video shows that he was. And he was right there and was trying to grab the gun. And it's like he wanted, and then he ran away. And then he was running to the police to turn himself in. He even said it to Grosskreutz, like, I'm going to the police. And they're like, get him. He's trying to turn himself in. Like, what? No, it doesn't make any sense. And then he was being beaten. And it's like, this kid was an upstanding citizen and was there to protect, because guess what? The state wasn't protecting Kenosha, period. Right.
And, I have the same feeling. Well, it's a slightly different feeling, but, the whole thing with Nick Salmon, kind of the way that the media portrayed him in front of that Native American elder, and that he was like some racist white kid
with a punchable face.
With a punchable face, according to Rosa Eslin, that was just like being completely disrespectful to this Native American elder. And I got that wrong too. And I admitted that I got it wrong. I had an exchange with Nick following that. And I don't think he ever actually brought it up. But
did he sue you also?
No, it was over Twitter. Right. It was one of those. There was one of those things where, like, you learn with each time. You don't fully learn, but you learn your lesson almost every single time. That
hopefully,
when something happens, hopefully you learn your lesson. That everything you see in front of the media wants you to not believe your lying eyes, and they specifically feed these lies. They almost like hook it as an IV into your arm. Yeah. And they tell you that this is how it is. And if you rip that out of your arm, that you're finally free from it. Like that. It's almost like
you just described.
It's almost like we're in the Matrix. It's almost like we're in the Matrix right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And everything that we're being taught by the simulation is basically the corporate media telling us this is how it is, and you just have to wake up from it. Take the what was it? Did you take the red pill?
Yep.
He took the red pill. Yeah. Of course, he took the red pill, and that's where and that's how he woke up.
Sandin actually came out and penned an open letter to Rittenhouse because he's like, look, out of everyone, I know what you're going through. Because he was slandered for a year. Rittenhouse was, for being a white supremacist and being an active shooter and serial shooter. Like, people were really believe that these 3 people that got shot, 2 of them got killed in it, were heroes that threw themselves in front of the gun to prevent Kyle Rittenhouse from killing more people. And it's like, he didn't go there wanting to kill anyone. And it's just insane. Like what you were saying, they have this all the inject, the IVs in their brains and in their everything, and they're just told, and the talking heads tell them what to say, and they believe, and they do it. They believe it. They aren't red pilled yet. How do we red pill more people? Oh,
this goes back to my whole thing about my work sort of with the Examiner and sort of this whole idea of trolling everybody, is that I just engaged everybody. You literally engage everyone. I have friends on the left, I have friends on the right. I'm not afraid to engage with anyone. And again, you have to be willing to you have to like check your, how like sometimes some people like, check your bias or check your ego at the door. Like, this is what I do.
Okay.
I just talk to people and just ask them questions because people love talking about themselves. They love talking about themselves.
Yeah.
You just ask them questions, ask them to explain their worldview to you. You don't have to push back on them. Sometimes people have the urge to really push back on others. Just ignore that urge. Just listen to them.
Yeah.
The more that somebody opens up to you, the more comfortable they start to feel with you. And then eventually they'll start to learn more about you. And then that's how you kind of like start to form a bond. And maybe even a friendship.
I like that a lot.
You start to find things that you like doing together. And it may not necessarily be something centered like on politics or religion, but like you'll start to learn more about the other person. And ultimately you might help change somebody's perspective on something. If you're fed the wrong information. I love this quote. It's like this from a rap album from this guy, Evidence, Dilated People. It's like he has this album that dropped this year called Unlearning Volume 1. And the very first like sample he uses, he says, if you are taught this certain information is the wrong information, are you willing to unlearn that information? I feel like a lot of people now are trying to figure out, how do I unlearn this information that's been taught to me since I was a kid or since I was a young adult? That's the difficulty for a lot of people, is trying to unlearn that information. And ultimately, I think once it goes to accountability, but also ultimately, some people just have to realize, you're not going to be right on everything, and that's okay.
Not to everyone.
You might have your own beliefs, and you might think that something's right.
Yeah.
But there's another person who is completely the opposite of you on the political spectrum, who thinks they're just as right as you. So how are you gonna engage with that person? Well, the one way to do it is just ask them questions and not push back on them. Just learn about them.
Yeah, I love that. It's sad that a lot of people have a problem with not listening, and listening is really important. That a lot of people are out there that are just waiting for their turn to speak instead of listening and really hearing what the other party is saying. Right? They're like, oh, you said something that triggered me. Now I'm in that triggered mode, waiting to combat that one thing that, it probably isn't even a big deal or whatever it is. Like that, and asking questions, really, I love that. You're describing empathy, right? Like trying to understand the other person. And I sadly, it's a lost art. It feels like we need more empathy in this world, because when you ask questions, you're telling someone, I want to understand you more. I want to hear from you. And when you actually listen, it's confirming that it's true, right? And that's a wonderful thing, because like just as you said, that's really how connections are made, is when you're proving to someone that you actually care to listen to them and hear what they're saying. And then we shouldn't need others to validate us, right? I mean, I don't need other people to validate me, but it doesn't change the fact that it feels good to be validated by others, right? We shouldn't diminish that. It's still important because we're a human race. We are social creatures. We thrive in community and with helping each other and boosting each other up. So I love that attitude. I think that's wonderful. Listening and
I actually,
really asking
and
questions.
I just want to highlight this part because like this is one of the things that I guess over the course of my life, I actually really thrive on engaging with people who challenge me. So like, I'll give you an example. My wife, who has largely, she is infinitesimally more base than I am.
Okay. She sounds awesome.
She is awesome.
Cool.
And I'll tell you why, is because she was like the only person that actually got me to think for myself. Not to just like buy the narrative that everything around me is, you know, the way it is for a reason. But once I started to like question everything around me, even it just started with simply just questioning things about my faith.
Yeah.
And because of that, my faith's only gone stronger, even though obviously I'm a terrible Muslim, but like I feel like internally my spirituality and my faith has gotten stronger.
Yeah.
You just need someone to help you question everything, because once you finally figure out that the things that exist are being either someone is lying to you or that there is a reason or an agenda that's being upheld in order to, you know, convince you of that information, that wrong information, it really opens up your world to just all these different types of possibilities in which, hey, if you know, you were being lied to about this one thing, what else was I being lied to about? Like,
good question. I know exactly what you mean. My wife, my favorite question from her, which I get very often on our entire relationship, is why. And it's not a malicious why; it's a curious why. Why I think the way I do, why I have a certain opinion on something, you know, why do I want to do anything? It doesn't matter. You know, she's genuinely curious, and that curiosity forces me to analyze my own motives and my own everything. And it's been a very awakening experience knowing her. So I definitely understand where you're coming from there.
I also have to add this one other thing, and that is, and this is a good family friend who actually was part of the wedding ceremony. He was like the Muslim imam for when my wife and I got married. She's Jewish, by the way, my wife.
Okay.
So you have a Muslim and Jew married. He said this one thing that stuck with me for years, but he basically said, and this helped me sort of figure out exactly my place in the world. This is what he said. He said, God gave you a brain before he gave you the Quran. The Quran being obviously the Holy Quran of the Islamic faith.
Okay.
So you should use it. A lot of people aren't using their brains. That's true. They're just seeing what's in the book, or they're seeing what's being told to them and just repeating that.
Right. I mean, replace whatever ideology or religion or anything else. It's still they're skipping the most vital part of being a human. It's a good point. You know, we need more of that. All right, we have gone a long time today. I haven't even gotten into super chats. Usually we're deep into super chats. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been awesome.
Of course. I mean, you can read the super chats. I got time.
Yeah, let's get into some super chats, and you know, we'll dive into it. I just want to let everyone know who's still here. Please go follow. Everything is in the description below. You can find and read the lists yourself. It's pinned on his page. Every week he updates it with new and the worst tweets of the week, and you can go all the way back to the very beginning, and that is down in the description below. Also, all his other thing, he has his own podcast as well, the Habibi Bros, right? Is that that
Habibi Power Hour, and there's the
Habibi Power Hour, right? I
don't exactly know what we call the podcast, because the show itself is Habibi Power Hour, where basically Jay and I get drunk and talk about the news, but like he and I make up the collective of the Habibi Bros.
The Habibi Bros.
So I don't know what we call it now.
Well, I feel like the Habibi Bros could grow, right? Anyone could be a Habibi Bro as long as you're, you know, supportive.
No, anyone can be a Habibi.
Okay. All right. Anyone could be a Habibi, but to be a Habibi bro, that's you two, right? You two are the
that's just me and
Habibi
Chad.
bros. All right, but it's the Habibi Power Hour. I love it. That's great. And again, it's in the description below. Please go give him a subscription. Definitely helps him grow, and he definitely deserves it. Clearly, from the great conversation that we've had today, you can see that he is of sound mind and not crazy as some people might.
You see, with all this unemployment, I've had a lot of time to think.
And well, you're not going nuts, and that's great. Robert Shaw says, I hope this makes CNN smile and MSNBC smile. Wait, I mean, yeah, right. Okay. Robert Shaw says, definitely watch Fat Pizza. What is that? Robert Shaw, what are you talking about? I'm going to read this again because I just love this super chat. Axio says, Siraj is a jobless lib. Adam, don't let him off the hook. I think I did a pretty good job so far on the show. Voorhees just did a couple thumbs up, a little fire emoji, and some rock on emoji with a little USA flag. Right on, USA. Gerald Armstrong should have thrown up an OK sign along with those other emojis. Well, what are you trying? Is he a white supremacist? Is that another thing going on?
I think he was talking about.
You must be.
Maybe the writing hand emoji.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? But it did follow that previous super chat, which had a bunch of little hand emotes. Robert Shaw says, not the first to make a list. So unoriginal, bro. Good. Let the dunking begin from the super chats. Yes. I love it. So you're not original. All right. That's
honestly, people who are mad at the list only make the list grow stronger.
That's true. They're like angry because, well, I was doing that offline. Yeah. Well, you didn't though. Nick H says, Habibi, and may camels have fine humps. That's a good one. I like that. I've never ridden a camel. I've never ridden a camel.
It's wild, man. They're wild.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're cool though. They seem cool. Yosh Ken says, hey Adam, endorse me to take your place in Mario Kart Sunday with Geeks and Gamers. I will bring home the gold for the coffee commanders. Just kidding, but I would if you ask. Are you a gamer at all, Siraj?
I am, yes.
What kind of games do you play?
I do FPS, I do sandbox, I do some RPGs. I'm really big on what was that?
What are you playing currently?
What was the last game I played? I was playing Destiny 2 with Jay. We played also It Takes Two.
That horrible game.
It Takes Two is weird, man, but it's fun because Jay
and I. The gameplay is fun. The story is horribly.
The story
depressing.
Is weird. The story seems really depressing.
It's so bad.
we haven't beaten it, but the gameplay is fun.
Yeah,
and I got the PS5 last year. I actually got it on launch day. And people
nice,
were like,
me too.
How'd you get the hookup? I was like, I literally just pre-ordered it.
Me too. Same thing.
And so
like
I had been waiting. I'm waiting on the Horizon Zero Dawn. I think it's Forbidden West. That follow up.
Yeah.
Very excited for that, and I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima as well. So
man, I haven't played it yet though.
Okay. I go around and play a lot of different games. I wish I had one game I really need to finish that I started and I actually genuinely enjoy is Witcher 3.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't get into it.
Really? I love that game, but I haven't been able to finish it because I just got tied up with so many other things.
Yeah, it does feel like a really big game that you kind of have to devote for.
It's so good. I could play Gwent for hours and on end.
That's that card game that's in.
Yeah, it's so good.
Right? Okay, that's cool.
I need to get back into it. I just don't have time to game. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Just stream it and then you're working.
Well, that's the thing is like I usually had time to stream, but now I'm like focusing on the house. It's just
right. Back when you worked, you had time to play games. Yeah, exactly. Now that you're unemployed, quote unquote, of course.
What about you, Adam? What games are you playing?
Currently, I have been really getting to Star Wars Battlefront 2. It is a really beautiful game, and
really the new version.
Well, the one that came out, and there was all that controversy because of the loot box thing, and they got rid of all.
I didn't buy it for that reason.
Well, they got rid of all the loot box stuff, so you don't have to buy anything. You just get everything now. And wow, the game is beautiful. Like really,
dude, I'll buy it. Yeah, I'll buy it. We'll play it, man.
Yo, get it. It's worth it.
Do it.
It's beautiful. I mean, and
let's do it. A Crigler, Crig BB.
Let's do it. Crig BB. I like it. That was just made right there. And Crig BB hour is gonna happen. Yo, you should, because there's a whole modding community. The game, I feel like I'm playing Star Wars
love the first Battlefront. I thought the first Battlefront was amazing.
If you liked the first one, I never played the first one, but I've played enough of this one. I think I'm at like 50 hours, 60 hours now. You know, and I the more I play it, the more I'm like, this is a really good game. The sounds, the really fast action, and the graphics are insane. So
what are you playing on?
I play on my PC.
Okay. All right. So you're part of the PC Master Race. I
have a PS5. Streaming. I have the PS5.
Okay. No. But I'm just saying, I don't know if this is a cross-platform play.
I don't think so.
Okay. See, that's why I got to get. That's why I need to upgrade. I have a laptop right now. I have a ROG, but I need to upgrade to an actual tower.
Oh, you should
and play. So once I do that, then we'll definitely hop on.
Playing it on console is a disservice to yourself because you can't mod the game. And I mean, I just started modding the game, and I was playing vanilla for, I don't know, a month or two. And I have a buddy who streams. His name's Darth Call. He actually dresses up as Darth Maul and plays the game. It's pretty cool. But he has over 100 mods on the game, and I have changed everyone. It's crazy. I have Darth Talon instead of Darth or what's his name, Kylo Ren. I basically got rid of all of the sequels. No one exists in my game. The sequels.
Oh my god! Can we just quickly talk about Rise of Skywalker? Is it okay to talk about it now that everyone's seen it?
I'm gonna do a deep dive on Star Wars soon with my buddy Darth Call. It's gonna be fun because we're gonna dunk all over the sequels.
Bro,
please, you know what? Let's hear I want to hear what you have to say. Go ahead. It's Rise of Skywalker. Go. What do you got to say?
I went into Rise of Skywalker knowing I was going to hate it. And I walked out feeling exactly how I entered the theater, hating it.
All right, so you weren't disappointed.
I wasn't disappointed. So for that reason, I was like, okay, it sucked. It sucked exactly the way I thought it was going to suck. I was like, all right, well, I guess that wasn't so bad then. Like, it was one of those things where when you watch it, you think it's going to be so predictable, and then they throw you for a loop for this thing. You're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, but not in a good way, though.
Yeah, it's
we already knew, because in the trailer you could hear Palpatine's laugh, and it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
and then it all came out that the directors they wrote it in separate. So like every time the next movie would come out, they would be like, okay, so we got to write a script. So what do we do? Well, whatever, just do whatever you want. And then by the end, it was just like horses riding on top of spaceships, and Palpatine is somehow the enemy again.
I just everything about
it's so bad.
That. Like, I don't know how they did it, but they managed to make the prequels look amazing.
I went back and watched them recently. They're so good now. I'm like, damn, they're
I know,
good.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that so insane that the prequels are now considered like? And you have to wonder, like, when the original trilogy came out, did we have that same feeling? Like, if we had grown up and watching the original Star Wars trilogy,
that's a good point.
But we have thought that it was just that the original trilogy was just as bad as the prequels, and then when we watched the prequels, we were like, actually, the original trilogy is amazing. Actually, no, that can't be it, because the original trilogy was amazing even before the prequels came out.
Right. And I mean, I feel like those prequels, they aged like fine wine.
Beautifully. It's amazing. I don't understand. George Lucas, you.
No, I do understand. He stayed true to the lore of Star Wars. The writing might have been a little wonky at some points, but if you go back, I mean, people made fun of Hayden Christensen because of some of the writing, but he did a great job of acting. Actually, like he was really anguished at some points. doesn't, regardless of the writing, like he actually made those scenes better, because I recently just watched it all because I'm preparing to do this deep dive with Call.
I'm very excited to watch this deep dive.
It's going to be good. We're going all the way back to the beginning of Star Wars when he was in college, looking at different courses and picking and pulling from different artistic visions. It's pretty cool. I mean, it goes way back. And then we're going all the way to Kathleen Kennedy and how she just got a 3-year extension with her contract, despite rumors of her being canned. So anyway, get Star Wars Battlefront 2, get a power.
Also, have you played is it Force Awakens? Is that the one? No.
I did play Force Awakens.
Jedi Order.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I'm thinking of the one that's the
one where it's that actor, the boy, the guy.
Fallen Order.
Jedi
Fallen Order.
I like that game.
Star
that
Wars
was good.
Jedi Fallen Order. That was incredible.
Great game.
That was
Great
good.
Game. I liked it. I like how difficult it was. I mean, if you up the difficulty, but I liked it.
Yes, I did.
I played Dark Souls. You play Dark Souls?
Yes, and Demon Souls.
Oh,
Adam,
I like it.
Did we just become best friends?
Did we just become best friends? All right, so Elden Ring. How excited are you for Elden Ring?
I'm hyped, but like I gotta get through all of Dark Souls and all of Demon Souls first. Like I'm still stuck on those games.
Do you need some help? I can help you,
dude. I'm awful at these games, but yes, we should play.
Oh, okay. I'm not awful. I can.
No, I mean like I'm definitely better than when I first started. There's definitely that curve.
That's good.
But
okay, good. You're improving.
I've definitely got to the point where like I can play these games and actually be somewhat competent at them.
All right,
and actually enjoy it. But when I Twitch stream them, I am just like a sweaty mess because like I'm like the Demon Souls Armored Spider boss. Like I had gone up against him at like 69 times, and as I finally beat him, I'm completely exasperated, just like grabbing a towel, like wiping my face of sweat. Like that's
arguably one of the hardest bosses in all of Dark Souls. I mean that. Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, 3. It is it's such a pain in the butt. That hallway is so annoying. I don't know if anyone knows what we're talking about.
The oil of
here,
fire,
but it is really a pain in the butt, this boss. But anyway, yeah, this is we definitely got a game. I know that we got to do that. Craig Beebe's is happening.
Craig Beebe's is happening.
All right, I don't even know where we were here. Yoshken, thank you for mentioning gaming. That was awesome. We just spawned into like a whole nother conversation.
I love it.
Robert Shaw
I don't get to talk about gaming enough. In fact, I still feel like a boomer with gaming because there's so like I'm just not in the realm of like everything about gaming, but I love gaming so much.
Yeah.
It just takes you to a different world. And in fact, I hate advertising this, but like I happen to get one of these, and these things are ridiculous.
Is that the Oculus?
The Oculus, they're crazy.
I just don't like it because it's owned by Facebook. I'm not a big fan.
I don't like it either, but they get it's what
I have the PSVR, so I know how awesome VR is. It really is the future of gaming, and
it really is.
It's amazing. I have a buddy who lives in New York who has the PSVR as well. And as I've been traveling, I've traveled around. I'm never stopped moving. Although, thankfully, that's soon to end. But it doesn't matter. I could jump into VR and we're standing next to each other. He's in my ear. We're talking. I'm seeing him next to me. I know he's not literally there, but it feels like it. So it feels like I get to game with my friend. And like we're shooting zombies. It's like one of those zombie shooting games.
That's awesome.
Running around shooting zombies. We're looking at each other. We're doing this with our guns, but you see the other person doing that. It's like, it's you. We're here. Zombie. This is awesome.
I'm excited for this, and I'm excited for this technology to get a little bit more integrated and have it last a little bit longer. Because like this Oculus headset lasts like an hour and a half. That's hardly anything. And also, I will say, yeah, the battery's awful. But I have to just say that another thing is that with these headsets, like obviously one of the big drawbacks is going to be is how it's going to warp your perception of reality. And that's another thing I'm very worried about. I mean, it's really cool technology, but like there are going to be some messed up people out there after this.
I mean, Ready Player One. Have you seen it?
Yes. Oh my God.
WALL-E.
Bro, I saw
also, which is the extreme.
Oh my God. No, hold on. Ready Player One. I watched that. I watched
Yeah.
that movie for the very first time after dropping an edible, after dropping a gummy, and I will
Oh
tell you
no.
that is the trippiest movie I have ever watched.
Well, I never even thought about doing like if you were under the influence while watching that movie. Definitely is trippy.
It is the
Wow.
trippiest thing ever.
Okay. All right. I can imagine that. Yeah,
Craig, come down to Florida. We'll drop some gummies and watch it together. Okay.
All right. That sounds good. That sounds fun.
Let's do it. It's a plan.
Yo,
we'll game
Craig
and
Beebe-
we'll drop gummies.
Craig Beebe's
Craig Beebe's.
coming to you soon to the internet. Robert Shaw says, if a chick dunks on you, she likes you. Probably. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Robert Shaw says he has a dunkable face. No lies detected. You heard it here. You've got a dunkable face. Kira, thank you for that super chat. Texas Horse Rescue with the $10 super chat says, day one sub here. Next time you're in Texas, you have to stop by and see our rescue called Becky's Hope. We have a beautiful old place called Spirit Ranch with lots of rescued horses, donkeys, etc. Oh, that sounds awesome. I love Texas. I've been to Texas many times in my life. I have really great friends in Texas. And I mean, I got to say, thanks to the Blaze team, I was watching Eliza on Elijah and Sydney's show, You Are Here, last night, which thank you guys for having Eliza on first and foremost. That's awesome. But man, did they say just the nicest things about me. I just was in chat just telling people to smash the like button, supporting Eliza, and the rest of them and that crew. And they saw me. They didn't even. I super chatted them. They didn't even see my super chat and just saw that I was in the chat and just said just the nicest things to me. So I really just appreciate you guys for Elijah. He's live right now actually over on You Are Here. So I know he's not watching, but it doesn't matter. I really just want to put some thanks out there. It's really nice. Robert Shaw says, fun fact: Australia is a major exporter of camels. Really? I did not know that.
They got a lot of desert.
That they do, and he's a Australian. He continues. He says, "I use Latinx to wipe my servers." Ah, is that what it is?
It's actually pronounced, Adam. It's pronounced Latinx.
Is that how it is? I've never known.
Right next time.
Is it?
They try. They try. Actually, that started by Noam Bloom, Neon Taster.
Yeah,
he's the one who coined Latinx, and
Latinx?
Ever since that, I can't think of any other term to say.
They hate it too. The Latinos hate it. It's ridiculous. Robert Shaw says, no, Baldwin, not you. Wait, what? What does that even mean? Not sure. I don't read my super chats until the end. So sometimes, they're, especially Robert Shaw, he's probably my most super chatting chatter. So I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. But
either way, shout out to Robert Shaw for spending all that money on the super chat.
Thank you, Robert Shaw. I appreciate you, mate. Did you hear about what's going on with that case? Hold on, I've got an article that I'm gonna probably talk about soon. Where is this? Alec Baldwin intentionally fired the shot that killed Helena
Are you
Hutchins
serious?
and chose to play Russian roulette with a loaded gun in violation of the script, a new lawsuit claims. And let me bring up
what
I'm looking at right here. Look at this. This is a law and crime website, lawandcrime.com, making the claim that Alec Baldwin intentionally fired the shot. Now, this is what the lawsuit claims, but I mean,
yeah, well, anyone can bring about a lawsuit.
Yeah, right, exactly. So I don't want to. I'm not saying that it happened, but we'll see. Because I haven't actually talked about this whole thing with Alec Baldwin. Obviously, it's been number one on a lot of people's minds. There's memes for days out there, but I just don't know everything that happened yet. So once it all comes out and we finally get to the root of what actually happened, then I'll probably do like a breakdown of what happened. But it's just now.
Do you think Alec Baldwin did this to take the heat away from his wife claiming Hispanic heritage?
No. You just made the list, man.
I know, but I'm always on it. So.
Wow.
Jay is here. Mujahid Kobe, as he's known, my co-host. Assalamu alaikum.
Is he in chat? Is he in chat?
He's
right
in
now?
chat. He just hopped in here.
Hey, you wanna send him? You want me to send him an invite? You want to have pop on? Or I don't know.
I don't know if is he around. I don't know if he's home. He's
all right.
He's on the West Coast. He's probably at work still.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he responds and says
cool.
I'll
get to the next one here. We got Raymond with a $10 super chat says, buy gold and silver, get your households in order. These are the most important things you can do in the next 2 months. Good luck. Okay. Thank you, Raymond. I appreciate that. Robert Shaw says 3/4 family friendly show. Right. We try to keep it family friendly. You know how we do, but that's sometimes.
I'm sorry.
No,
my fault.
No, but
everything.
listen, sometimes I just kind of, it's natural, and I don't know. I don't want to. I didn't stop you because at first because it just kind of felt like you were being yourself, and I didn't want you to not be yourself. I wanted you to be comfortable because I want people to feel comfortable on my show and be able to really talk about things. So, but then you dropped like 3 in a row, and I'm like, all right, I should probably say something. I should probably, hey, maybe keep it to like one per sentence. But that's all right. No worries about it. No worries. Robert Shaw says, before 2016, Adam didn't exist. It's all fabricated. How did you know this? Anyway, I'm just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Russell Guy says, welcome, Habibis. Why locals? I want to give you my raw, unfiltered thoughts that don't really have a home anywhere else on the internet.
That is literally them ripping me for my opening video on locals,
like your
which
welcome
you can
video?
check out. But yeah, you get an opening, an intro video on locals, and so
yeah, I got mine too.
Mine has just been absolutely dunked on left and right. And
well, you got a dunkable face.
Again, dunkable face, and it's just like. I put out that video in earnest, and everybody's just like, "No, Siraj, you can't even have this one."
No, you're not allowed to be like that.
Yeah. So
everything you do, we must dunk. I love it. Chris Holmes says # Adam Crigler for president. Oh, I don't know about that. That's
why would you wish that on him?
Right. I feel like
the worst job in the world.
Yeah, I feel like I'd make more of a difference just doing my show, talking about my opinions on things. A lot of people have come up to me over the past year and say, hey, it's because of you that I am red pilled, that I, open my eyes to the world. And that's awesome. I anytime anyone says that, I'm just like, that's the coolest thing I could have hear, that, what I've been doing meant something to someone. And I really appreciate that. And like being president, that just sounds horrible. It's
yeah.
I wouldn't want it on anyone. But of course, that's the problem is the people who do want to be president are the people that want the power. And that's a shame. Same with every other facet of government as well. Robert Shaw says, lucky. What? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Jay just sent the super chat. So when you get to it, I'll let you know why I had to.
I'll read it right now. I see it. I'll just call him Jay. You call him Jay. Just he super chatted. Says Siraj gives us his raw, unfiltered thoughts all over Adam. My. Family friendly show, Jay. We were just talking about that, dude. My goodness. The Craig BB hours just totally changed.
Oh my god, this is Craig BB after dark right here.
Oh geez, that's funny though. Well, thank you for the super chat though. Appreciate that. Robert Shaw says, "Lucky Siraj isn't a pilot, dude." Oh wow.
Oh my god.
This is great. I love this. Yeah, we're having fun here. Yo Donnie says Boston accents are terrible for the radio. Changed my mind. Diversity hire for $69 an hour. Thank you, Donnie. I did tell you it's a perspective issue. I don't know if you caught that when you were like, people said I got a radio voice. And I'm like, perspective.
Well, I don't actually have a Boston accent.
No, you know what? It's funny. People don't know where my accent's from. They can't pinpoint it. In fact, in my life, I've only had one person guess where I'm actually from that didn't know where I was already from. You know? I don't
So
think
you
I have a
actually are
Boston
you
accent.
actually are from Boston.
No, I'm not from Boston. They're not talking about
Oh,
me.
I thought
don't
you were
think.
suggesting you're from Boston.
No. Do I sound like I have a Boston accent? I don't think so.
No, you don't sound like you have a Boston accent at all.
I don't think
I
you
sound like
you
I sound more. I'm from Hartford, Connecticut. Again, I can break into the New England accent, but
you do
it's
not have.
very
I
heavy.
lived in New York for a long time, and I know New York, and I also had friends from that area, and I know that accent as well. I don't feel like you've got any of that. So it's more of a generic.
Adam, you want me to like, take
Pull
a
it out.
guess of what you're
Oh sure.
Maryland.
Where do you think I'm from?
Baltimore.
No. Damn it. I did live there for a tiny little bit, like last year sometime when I was on a show for a little while. But no, I am in fact from Chicago. Yeah. But
Really?
I lived in
Chi-town.
Yeah, Chi-town from Chicago, born on Lakeshore Drive downtown. Lived in the suburbs, moved to New York when I was 19, lived in over in Europe on and off pretty much since I moved to New York when I was 19.
So Jay brought this up. He says, do the Pakistani Boston accent. This is so in Pakistan. The Pakistan, I can't do Boston accent with Pakistani accent. That is too difficult.
Wow.
But I could give you A1 tip-top first class Pakistani accent.
Well, according to Joe Biden, the sitting president, you can now get really good service at any 7-Eleven.
That is most racist.
That's according to Joe Biden.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Thank you. I appreciate.
Oh yeah, but I do remember when Joe Biden said that during the 2008 campaign.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah,
that dude's ridiculous.
Oh man,
I'm just saying. According to the president, the sitting president, that's how he said. Let's see here. Evan says, "Did someone say #unsolicited attacks on Siraj?" Yes, please bring it on. I would love that. I can't wait to see the super chats that come later on in the show, because I don't pay attention to the super chats at all. Usually when I'm going, especially when I have a guest on, I like to listen to my guests and let them speak. Today could have been, I probably should have not let you speak as much, but because reasons. Robert Shaw says swearing is normal, everyday talk here in Australia. That doesn't surprise me. You crazy Australians. Mr. Knox says, yep, the Aussie language is indeed colorful. I use it every day at work. Another Australian viewer. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Gerald Armstrong says, it may be going down in Ukraine. I'm seeing on Twitter multiple large explosions in eastern Ukraine. Really? I haven't really been paying attention much on Twitter today. I saw some things trending that I'm like, oh, I really need to get. I wonder what that's all about. Chappelle's trending again. Why is he trending? Anyway, I haven't really been paying attention because I was listening to Nick Rakita's stream, who is doing coverage on the Rittenhouse stuff, and I was doing some other things outside of the internet. Robert Shaw says, don't break your bread. It's a waste of food. Okay, good to know.
I think it was referring to the Waj. The Waj incident.
Yeah, with your buddy. I mean, he's making a crack on the literal sense of breaking bread. Robert Shaw says, I'm not right or left wing because I'm not a bird. Cool. That's good to know. And if you were, I'd be really impressed because you seemingly make money to super chat me and type. He continues. He says, falling on your face is moving forward, technically. All right. Yeah, that's a positive outlook on falling. I like it. Robert Shaw continues. He says, does Islam have multiple brands like Christianity? That's a good question.
Well, I mean, like there's two major sects, and that's Sunni and Shia. I'm Sunni, but like I just say I'm Muslim because like it's not like you're Catholic or Protestant. It's just
Right.
They're just Muslim. So
okay.
I see that Blake Bai is asking. Siraj totally has a Patriots game on right now. I just have the game cast right now.
That's all right. Totally allowed. He said he would give me 2 hours. He's like, I got 2 hours slotted in, and we're at 2 hours and 15 minutes.
My wife's gonna leave me. My wife's gonna leave me if I stay on for another hour.
All good. Well, we don't have too many more super chats left. And honestly, you can leave whenever you want. You just
no. I'll let you finish the super chats. I'll shut up.
All right, cool. Yeah, shut up, would you? Jeez. Vash says, with the $10 super chat, says, sad little man sitting deep in a lie. He's dead in his soul, but he keeps you alive. Do what he says, not what he do, because the truth is for him and the lies is for you. I don't know what that's from, but it was fun to read. Robert Shaw says, fear of Sharia is common here in Australia. Really? All right, interesting. Because they want to keep the camel trade going, right? Is that why?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Little Man Slim says, Allah bless America. Thank you. Robert Shaw continues with his super chats. Our right-wing politic parties have a habit of mixing Sharia law, Sharia law, right? Sharia, excuse me. Sorry for...
Yeah, it's like Maria.
Okay, Sharia law with all Muslims and fight to have them banned and fight mosques from being built here. Well, that's messed up because freedom of religion. Everyone should have a right to worship as they please. Australia really is a crazy place. Robert Shaw continues. He says they play off people's ignorance to build hate. That sounds familiar. That sounds like a lot of people, not just Australian politics. Allison C says, F MSNBC. I like that you switched it to NPC instead of NBC, but that's good. I'm going to use that. That's my idea now. Thank you. I'm glad I came up with that. Robert Shaw says, I was just walking with my camera. I tripped and fell onto the jury bus by accident and accidentally got their identity on camera. So weird. Give us your best. Let's go, Brandon. That I believe that's a question for a request for you.
Oh, let's go, Brandon.
One more time, please.
Let's go, Brandon.
All right, wonderful. I'm gonna clip that out and blast it everywhere.
You want another one where you want another one where I ululate in the end?
Oh yeah, please.
You know it. Okay, so I want you to say it with me. Let's go, Brandon.
Oh my God, that was amazing. See, proven he is absolutely right wing. See, now the internet has more proof. And that was incredible. We're gonna someone cut that out and spread it everywhere, please. That's amazing. Let's see here. Roll the dice for Eliza. Okay, I'll roll the die. All right, so I roll the die every so often. It's a 20-sided die. Would you like to take a guess as to what the number is?
69.
Okay, I kid you not. I'm gonna take a picture of this. This is an incredible moment. Okay, it's actually 6. But but where I'm looking, I see the 6 and the 9 is right next to it. Yo, this is too crazy. I have to show you guys. This just happened.
Oh my God.
All right. Hold on. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can't see that. I'm gonna send.
You gotta tweet it out now. Yeah.
I'm gonna put this on Twitter so I can actually show you guys on screen. This is actually kind of insane. I'm going to give you the win. All right. You just won absolutely nothing. So save it up for something really nice. Maybe buy your wife something from the Nothing store. Now that you have a good coupon for nothing over there. This is pretty crazy. Look at this, guys. All right. Now I have it on my computer so I can send it to you or show you guys. I mean, that's what I see. I rolled a 6 and I looked down and I was like 6 and 9. Like, that's pretty funny. And you're like, it's 69. Wow. So, I mean, it's funny too, because I have people in my chat that have somebody, Sectus Gaming specifically, sent me a 100-sided die. And he's like, I'm sending you this so that I can get a 69 roll and you can actually roll 69 for me. And he has like 25 rolls saved up for when I have a dice cam. I'm going to actually have a dice cam that I'm going to live roll these 25 rolls for him with the 100-sided die. So that is actually the first time this has ever happened where someone has guessed 69 on the 20-sided die, and I've gotten a 6 with the 9 like right there. I mean, this is as close to 69 as it can get. It's pretty amazing.
It's very nice.
Yeah, I love it. It's incredible. You look down and it's looking back at me. Yes, it is, Captain Playoni. It's that was amazing. So magical moment. See that Crig BBs, dude. There's some energy right there. All right. The dice knows. The dice knows. Oh, sorry, Eliza. That roll was for you, but the Crig BB energy is just too strong. Mr. Knox says, so Snopes is saying that the jury bus being followed by someone affiliated with MSNBC is unproven. It's amazing how Snopes is still around. Right. It isn't proven, but it is weird that the person that he cited had all of her media scrubbed, and that all of her LinkedIn profile, which said she was working at MSNBC, has also been scrubbed, all within hours of this going down. So, I mean, and couple that with what you were saying earlier about how the way that the media is portraying it all, it's just really sketchy. So we'll see how it all turns out. And I just had a huge jump. Here we go. Allison C says, so embarrassed that Ilhan is my representative. Oh, yeah, that sucks. Well, I don't think you had any choice. Anyway.
Come down to Florida, Habibi.
I hear Florida's pretty awesome.
It is the last free state in the union.
Well, Texas.
Adam, get down here. I'm trying to get Jay out here too. Just everybody come down to Florida.
I got one of my best friends lives in Florida. He's fantastic. You guys might know him, the Ferk. Great guy. Been on my show many times. Robert Shaw says, so the squad is Siraj's harem. What a player. Oh, God, no. That deserves to be on the list. Oh, gosh. Mr. Squiggle says, I believe the judge can dismiss with prejudice whenever he wants now. He's just choosing to leave it up to the jurors first. I think he's basically made that clear that he really wants to see if the jurors are able to come to that conclusion themselves. Mr. Knox says, whatever the outcome is, I do hope that people at Kenosha are ready. There is no reason why anyone who doesn't live in Kenosha to be there, especially Antifa and BLM. I mean, that was the whole problem in the first place. All these people were being bussed there. They even stopped a convoy of people that were coming from Portland, like 3 or 4 days before this whole thing happened with Kyle. I remember because I was reporting on this. Is what I do for a living now, is I report on daily stuff that's going on in the light of the media and all that, and either debunk it or just give my opinion on it. Bobcat says, if Kyle enlists, he should be awarded a combat medical badge for his actions in Kenosha. Well, I think you have to enlist and then do stuff, right, to earn badges. Robert Shaw has a few super chats here. He says, Alec and Kyle is a great example of left BS. That's true. I miss the old bananas in pajamas, not the CGI crap. Bananas in pajamas. What are you even talking about? We're talking about movies. We're talking about Star Wars. So the CGI stuff. Or are you talking like actual, like, think about the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I like to bring that up because that first movie was so good. You can watch it now and it's still so good. The way that the eyes and the outfit, and they had emotions, but they had to build these outfits and they were fighting in them. And they were just like, that was amazing. There was no CGI. It felt real. And oh man.
Yeah. The first two are awesome.
Awesome movies. The new ones are just CGI. It's just not the same. It feels like laziness. Robert Shaw says, unemployment is great for free time. All right. No lies detected. Fat Pizza is a great Aussie comedy show. Ah, okay. I didn't know. Sejong says, how can you dislike Witcher 3? Spent ages on it. You know, this is the reason why I'm not dissing Witcher 3. It's that I know nothing of Witcher, and people were like, you got to play it. And I got it. And I went to stream it live, and people were talking to me. I was talking to chat, and it's very story based. And I didn't get pulled into the story because when you're streaming games, you know, right now I'm live, like I can't like fully devote into a game if I'm live because I want to interact with the audience. I want to interact with you guys. I'm reading super chats and all that stuff. So it kind of it didn't allow me to fully get into The Witcher 3. Maybe if I played it by myself and really like followed the story, I might feel differently about it. But
that's what I did, Adam, is I played offline and I liked it a lot more. I only actually played online. The only time I played on Witcher 3 for stream was when I played Gwent.
Okay, because it's a card game. You don't have to.
It's a card game, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to like be in the story or whatever. So
exactly.
Yeah. You get it then.
You just go around and you play different people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just walk up and hey, you want to play some Gwent?
Yeah.
Isn't that how it works? They get all Come on, let's do this. Play some Gwent.
Round the Gwent. Let's play some Gwent.
The sequels weren't that bad if you were comatose. Thank you, Rob Shaw. I was like, dude, I want to like you. What? They weren't that bad. Yes, they were. They, for lack of better words, they shit all over Star Wars lore. I mean, that's it. You can't convince me otherwise. Sejong with a $50 super chat. Wow, Sejong, thank you so much. He says, better believe things are heating up in Kenosha. Brick pallets just started showing up everywhere. Is that? I've seen pictures, but people posting a picture of a brick pallet doesn't prove to me that it's in Kenosha. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know if that's actually in Kenosha. So I actually I don't know if that's confirmed or not. Either Kenosha is getting a huge rebuild effort or the game's afoot. Anyway, you know what this is. Roll that freaking dice. Let's play. Regulators, for those wondering. You know what, Sejong? I hope you don't mind. I'm going to go ahead and gift this straight over to Siraj because I feel like he earned it. I rolled the die and he guessed 69 and it was 69. And that is unprecedented. So basically what I do is I roll the dice to give away coffee because I have a coffee company. And
okay.
Do you drink coffee?
I love coffee.
You love you haven't tried coffee. All right. Let me just say. All right. I'm gonna send you a bag. Look, do me a favor, go to criglercoffee.com. Right now. Go right now if you want. We have all sorts of different types of blends. I'm gonna send you a mug and whatever bag that you choose, and I'll send it to you. And just give me your information and I'll get you a bag of coffee.
And bro, what happened to those locks, man? Where'd they go?
I got rid of the locks. Oh man, I gotta update that picture on there, don't I? Let me see. Hold on.
That is luscious right there.
Wow. I mean, I don't even know who that guy is anymore. Look at that. That's my old studio back when I was on the Cast Castle network. Amazing. I am no longer a part of that. But I'll be honest, I don't miss my hair. I don't miss it. It was annoying. It was hot.
It sounds like it. I mean,
yeah.
At least you got like a nice thick beard right now. You got a good thing going there. Don't let this go. I have a really bad habit of plucking hair from my beard. I have like trichotillomania.
Oh, really?
So like it's really stressful. Yeah. Oh, it's so bad.
I got to get rid of this here. This is annoying. But maybe I'll keep the beard. My brother, some people might know him because he streamed a couple times on Twitch, and he's great. But he has a massive beard. He was in the Marines for a long time, so he wasn't able to grow a beard. He wasn't allowed to. And now that he's out of the Marines, he did his service. It was great. He's like, oh well, now I'm gonna grow this beard. And he's got like the freaking huge mustache, and it's like getting nice and rounded at the bottom. I'm like, man, it's pretty cool looking. And every time I shave, the chat's like, oh, come on, why? So it's kind of funny. Axios again says Alec taught Binger trigger discipline. Yeah, that's funny. That's true. Here's Jay with that super chat about his unfiltered thoughts. I'm not going to read that one again because again, family show. I did read it. All right. So Yoshkin says gaming should always be a topic. Doom Eternal. Have you played Doom Eternal?
I have not. I remember playing the original Doom. I have to get into it.
One of the best first-person shooters I've ever played. It's
right,
so good. It is so fun. It's so fast and vicious. The multiplayer is so unique. It's 2 demons versus the Slayer, and it is just really a fun game. The graphics are beautiful. It's very buttery. Like Destiny 2 is a buttery game. I love Destiny 2. Destiny 1 I played. Both Destinies I really loved a lot. Destiny 2 was a really good game, and I loved how smooth that game felt. Well, this game feels as smooth as that in the Doom universe. Really, really a great game. So if you like Destiny 2, you'll like Doom Eternal. Yeah, it's a great game. Let's see here. Mark Robertshaw says, what's with Pakistan and India's conflict? I think it's over water, water wars, because they share a water source coming out of the mountains there. I that from what I know and understand about it, I don't know if you know anything about it at all.
It is largely over the territory of Jammu and Kashmir in the north. Mm-hmm. That is the land that they've been fighting over since the two countries formed after the partition in 1947. And it's also a largely a religious divide too, because India is largely Hindu. And there is it actually is a very large Muslim population in India. There are actually more Muslims in India than there are Muslims in Pakistan, to give you an idea of how big India is.
Well, what's the population of Pakistan though? I mean, I feel like
Pakistan's population is in like the high 200 million.
Okay, all right. So dwarfed by India, because India's
like it's like I'm sorry, it's 220 million.
Okay, it's still a lot. That's a lot, but
yeah, but like in a war, like India could just throw bodies into the meat grinder, and for lack of a better term. But like that's basically how every general approaches war. But like India population is 1.38 billion. So like 1.3 more than overlap. Pakistan. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't. I don't really know much about history over in that area that they were.
It's not pretty, no. But there are in India itself, there are like around 200 million Muslims, according to Pew Research Center, or there's somewhere around 213 million Muslims. So it's actually like neck and neck between the amount of Muslims that are in Pakistan and India. It's weird, but largely the two countries are just very nationalistic and kind of the Brits really messed up in that region, because everyone was kind of like, at least when the Brits were colonizing that area, the British Raj, at least had Hindus and Muslims who were sort of like joined in unity against like the colonizers. But then once they left, then they just started fighting each other. So
that's sad.
John
Hoyle with a $10 super chat says, despite the thick Farsi accent, I enjoy Siraj's content. Well, good. That's good. I'm glad you could see through it and get past that. Mr. Squiggle says, give the first 2 Witchers on PC a try. It usually goes on sale around Thanksgiving. The first 2 Witchers gameplay feel like PC MMOs. It is so hard for me to go back in time with video games because I have such a backlog of games I have to play. Ghost of Tsushima, you said you were playing that. I have it. I haven't played it yet, but I can't wait. It looks incredible, and I have to finish Sekiro as well, or Sekiro, however you pronounce it.
Sekiro. Yeah, I have to play that one too.
Beautiful game. I'm pretty far into it, but great game. Ryan says the picture of the bricks is a stock photo. Yeah, see, exactly. I need proof of it being. I need somebody I know that is on the front lines, like Jorge Ventura. He's probably going to be in Kenosha soon, or Drew Hernandez, Elijah Schaefer. These guys that go to the front lines and are there live streaming and taking videos of stuff. When I see them posting a video like, "Yo, there's pallets of bricks here," I'm gonna be like, all right, there's pallets of bricks there. But that is the end of our super chats. Yo, Siraj, it has been a serious pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me on, Adam.
I'm going to give you the camera. Power Hour. Absolutely. I can't wait. I'm going to give you the camera real quick. Please tell everybody what you do, how to follow you, where to get a hold of you, and all that good, juicy stuff.
Okay. So I'll give you the long and short of it. If you want to know just where I am all the time, it's on Twitter at Siraj A Hashmi. Of course, Jay and I host a live stream every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. East. That's Habibi Power Hour. You can find us on Rumble. We're also simulcast on YouTube and Twitch, but it's Habibi Power Hour. You just look up Habibi Bros. It's right here, Habibi Bros. Should search that. And you can also follow us on Twitter at Habibi_Bros. Every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. East. And that is a live stream. I also do the list stream every Monday night at 9 p.m. East on Twitch, but it's also simulcast to Rumble and YouTube. Go ahead and check it out there. But I post everything on Twitter, so you can go ahead and check that out. But if you want to support me, of course, I'm on Locals, I'm on Patreon, I'm on Substack. So whatever sort of format that you like to use the most, just go with that, because I post it to every single platform.
And all of those links are in the description below, so you can go down there. There's a link tree which just has them all. So feel free to go and support. And thank you guys for joining in. Tomorrow, of course, is Friday, so I'll be doing a little bit of jamming. I'm also going to talk about some of the things that I have missed so far. Hopefully, we'll have a final verdict with the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. I don't know. Part of me thinks it's going to go into next week, which is just absolutely crazy. Nick Rakita told me right at the beginning when he was on my show that it maybe would be 2 weeks. Now this is 3 weeks as of tomorrow. So we'll see, but I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you all next time. Good night, everybody.